Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We are here.
Mhm.
We are
Mhm,
here,
mhm,
and we are
mhm.
live, and we are live, and we are here.
Yeah.
Hello, Jelly Spoons. I hope you've
Again,
been well.
folks.
Toronto.
Can't say that. You have to write that.
No,
There
no,
are
he has
rules.
spoken it as is tradition.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Mike.
just
Did you repeat that?
Starch Bomb beat you to it because she has already said jelly spoops of Eberonto.
Wow.
There we go.
It's just combining everything about this game. Toronto,
That's a
for
mug.
some reason, Eberron, jelly spoons, and poop, for Noah.
For the child in the
Rude.
party.
Rude.
Not inaccurate, but rude.
What I hate
wasn't
most
calling
about
it
your sentence
inaccurate.
is all the facts. Yeah, let's get the party started. I'll do a quick recap. Last week was really good for me and really bad for Zorak. The end.
What are you talking about? This was a fairly typical combat where Zorak did a thing in a combat and then got knocked out.
It was that, like, the knockout I did not expect to go quite as well as it did, but man, it sure did go well for me and not for Zorak. So the group managed to figure out the mechanism that would lower the bars that were containing the Oldra, and two things which the Oldra described as more or less sprites. After freeing them, she said a bit about what happened and why she was there, which she doesn't really know. She said that she kind of like essentially an insurrection happened and she woke up there. And after letting her go, they started heading back towards the center of town. So I will actually throw us over to the Spearhold map, which for some reason will always start zoomed in as possible. So after freeing her over in this area, they headed towards the center of town, and they discovered that this statue right here, which had a couple of bodies near it, was probably kind of like able to move, and so they didn't go near that. And then they noticed somebody in this building right here, and that person sort of waved everyone in, and after kind of waving everyone in, they discovered that was the remaining people of the group that Tercia came down with. Included in that group was a warforged named Slapper, an old human named Sim Simkus, a Korvar woman named Efe, and a human male named Poisses. And there were also a lot of other people there, like sort of like injured people or people that Tertia didn't know very well. But since those are the ones that Tertia knew, those are the ones that sort of like took the forefront in talking to the group. And the group agreed that they would help the miners out when the miners needed to, are essentially they would go and investigate the castle, and then when they came out, they would try to help the miners leave, because the miners are completely separated and they don't know how to get out of here. The miners said that the members of House Thrashk that they were able to find had gone into the castle, basically kind of scouting ahead, looking for treasure, that sort of thing, and they hadn't seen them since. They said that it was Geralt and Lewok, who were both from New Seer, as well as a pair of Minotaur and a dwarven sort of Kuiper expert and an ogre. So those are the ones that went in. The group helps them gather some supplies so that they can stay warm, stay fed, and then the group decides that they are going to go into the sort of the castle of Spearhold. They go into the front door. They spot that there's all these statues, and one of the statues looks a little bit different. Looks like that statue might be a Caridid column. And so Zorak breathes fire on it, and then it just delivers concussion after concussion to Zorak. The group manages to take it down, and they heal up Zorak, and they go in a little bit farther. And then there's a fight, basically like right here on the first floor of the castle, sort of in the foyer. And in there, it's kind of a tall room. There's some rafters in there. Sharut scouts ahead. Sharut notices that there's a Dolgaunt in there, tells everybody. Everybody rushes in, and then there's more than one Dolgaunt. There were multiple Dolgaunts, and the world's most useless Dolgar, who was able to do. God, he was just able to do nothing over the course of the entire fight. And the group manages to kill one of the Dolgaunts, to kill the Dolgar, and leave the other two fleeing. But one of the ones that fled with Dandarin's hammer. So basically, I will put us on the Spearhold ground floor map, and it'll probably take a minute to load for everybody because it's a big map. But you should all be able to see stuff now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Except for some reason, I cannot click.
Nope. Still loading it, I think.
Yep. I can't see it. Oh, that just crashed.
I have loaded.
Well, here's restarting Firefox.
Last week, Firefox wouldn't work. You had to use Chrome, remember? But it's not working for me either. So give me a second.
Oh no!
No, it was working just fine for me.
Yeah, but I need it to work for me. It working for me is more important than working for you. I'm running the game.
God, what are you, Noah?
Sorry, that
There
joke
we
doesn't
go.
I don't understand what that joke was supposed to mean.
Oh,
Scratching my head here.
So, yeah, one of the Dolgaunts ran up this stairwell. One of the Dolgaunts ran up this stairwell, and we are now. Basically, Dandarin was running after. I'll let. It looks like Mike and Justin are still not in, so all of the two of you get in, and then we can go farther.
There we go. Maybe.
It's a good
Perhaps.
sign when it's trying to load the icon on your toolbar, on your hotbar inside of Foundry, and it goes, "Oh, the morning star is too much."
You will suffer as none have suffered before.
To do that, I would have to be here.
Like,
Hey,
and it's weird because, like, I get that the map is big, but the map is not so big that it should cause issues. It's just a large image. It's like 20 megs.
Yeah, mine downloaded
I don't know.
super quick this time because it was already downloaded.
It's something to do with Firefox, I think.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, there's one went up this stairwell, one went up the other stairwell, and Sharut basically was running around in rapid fire trying to stop the bleeding on it. So we'll start, and I'll get to you in a second there, Dander, and I'm going to get to Sharut right now. Sharut, you still have, I believe, Tertia bleeding.
Well, let's change that.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a heal check. You can either make this a heal check to heal, or you can make it a heal check to stop the bleeding. If it's a heal check to heal, and you heal at least 1 hit point, it'll stop the bleeding anyway.
I would probably do a heal check.
Okay.
Means because you gave me charges. Gave me charges of heal. Nice DM. It's weird. Puts me on.
don't jinx it.
Alrighty. Wow. I mean, I still succeed. Yeah, I still succeed.
You're gonna spend a charge on 3 hit points.
I can't. Well, I could use a hero point to re-roll it,
It's
but I
up
only
to
have
you.
one.
It's real funny.
Would you like
Well,
to?
I
Yeah.
only have 1 hero point. I don't want to.
Okay.
So you heal 3 hit points,
Great.
which is unfortunate, but that's how it panned out. I can't really.
All right.
Yeah.
Tertia, you're no longer bleeding. You heal 3 hit points. And now, jam forks and jelly spoons, the exciting adventures of the ice dwarf, Dandarin. So here's a thing. As you move to here, you are moving off the carpet and onto ice. Moving.
I'll go ahead and baseball slide.
If you move at regular speed, sorry, if you do not run, you can move at half speed. If you go faster than your like baseline movement speed, you have to give me an acrobatics check. All right, Dandarin,
It'll be like that today.
you're sort of there, and you're you went prone here, and you sort of lost momentum there.
Well, he's got that giant sled made of mithril.
Yeah. What's that sled made of? Mithril.
The finest sled in all the land. I call it Rosebud. And then I need to make another one.
Uh,
You've me back my hammer, you shit! I'll cry out in Goblin.
Okay.
Ah! Whoop! Or, sorry. Whoop!
Yeah, it's just whomp, and you guys see him like he fell over here and he gets back up and he bop, and just kind of slides to a rest right here. But you, I mean, you can see in the dark. You got dwarven sight. From what you could see as you sort of slid by, you don't see the guy like waiting for you on the steps. He has continued to ascend.
Ah! I'll find him later. And I'm going
All
slow
right.
this time.
Yes. So that is for everyone, so that you know if you move on the ice, which is any of these blue squares, you will be moving at half speed. If you want to move faster than that, you need to make me an acrobatics check. The rest of you are in various states of repair or disrepair. You have a Dolgar body right here, a Dolgaunt body right here, and the Minotaur body right. What would you all like to do?
I'm going to go check on Lumio. I know he got hurt.
Yeah.
I am going to cry my robot tears because I got hurt.
Wait,
I'm putting it out there so you guys know where they are.
I smash with the shit. No.
I'm a little fuzzy, and also I think Foundry did some budgery with my sheet because I don't remember healing myself, and yet I'm at full hit points.
So your sheet is not working the way it should be. Put yourself at like 75% of your hit points. I without watching last week's video, I don't have a way to look at it.
Yeah, like I was. I'll try and pull it
You
up.
healed yourself at least once to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Yes,
You did.
I know that.
You
I
did
know
heal
that.
yourself for a big amount. I don't remember what it was. I wasn't looking at it or tracking it. Yeah, we'll figure out why you can roll everything but skills later. Yeah. So, you're gonna move over to Lumio. Did you want to give me a blacksmithing roll to heal him up?
Sure would. I don't know what that
Alright.
is. Is that
So that's
12?
It's 12. Well, it's 1 + 1 per point above 15. So it's 13. It's 13.
okay? I begin repairing Lumio.
All right.
Oh no, stand still. This will only tickle for a minute.
Pickle.
All right. So while you're repairing Lumio, Delian, Sharut, Tertia, Zarak, are the four of you doing anything?
I need to know who's hurt.
Zarak is coming back around for more healing.
Yeah, Trisha's like, I need more band-aids.
Karut motions her down and holds a mushroom to her mouth. Chew. And he starts working. And midway through, he says, "Spit."
What?
Takes it and rubs it into a wound, so it acts like a
Somebody swallowed.
pain deterrent. I can't remember the name of the frickin'.
An anesthetic.
There we go. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead and give me a heal check on Tertia. Tertia will heal 16 points.
She will.
Ooh.
That is how you feeling there, Tertia? That's 2 for the day, right? On you.
1 second. I could probably get another one.
All right.
Yeah. Tertia,
All right. Yeah,
Tertia
yeah.
got messed up.
Tertia got smacked.
She got smacked real bad. Have you had your berries yet for the day?
Actually, that's a great question. Have you had your berries yet?
I believe we did back when we met the other people.
No, we handed out berries to the other people.
Yeah, you handed out berries, but did you eat them to heal?
If I recall correctly, we haven't rested since the last time we used them.
Yeah. So far today, all of the fights that you have had, like in today's, like since you woke up, have been in this building.
Oh, then no.
Because you didn't fight the Death Knight. You didn't fight anything in the. Oh no, wait. There was the room with the. There was the room with the ghouls, but the ghouls all laid into Delian. They didn't even hit anybody else.
Yeah.
So, you should be good for berries if Zarak has berries left.
I have berries left.
I got berries coming out of every orifice. Zarak just starts
What?
throwing out raspberries, and blueberries, and blackberries.
But no strawberries. I don't know why.
Yeah. So Tertia, you can. What was it, Zarak? Up to 14 from berries.
13 up to 13 for
Up to
berries.
13. So if you want to roll a d8 plus 3.
Uh-huh.
you can see how many berries it'll take to get you the 13.
There's 7.
You can do it again.
There's 11.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 berries.
And the last one. the last one just, of course. That's how dice work. Okay, so 3 berries in, you're 13 hit points.
I'm a little scratched up, but I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that's good. All right, and then we'll move on to Zeract.
Meanwhile, Zoract cannot take berries.
Oh my god, it's gonna be one of those nights.
Oh, who did you
Jesus
hurt?
Christ.
You know.
So the thing about Pathfinder is that 1 does not fail the skill roll. So
I know,
you heal
but-
Zoract for 2 hit points.
I'm still considering taking the reroll.
It's up to you.
Zorak just is sitting there like bleeding, like Shrooge, please help me. Shrooge just walks by. He just spits on it.
Just spits the mushroom.
You're fine.
Shit.
He points to the
yeah,
mushroom
you know
that
what?
Tertia spit out and was like, chew that mushroom.
You know what? These charges are pretty precious. So I am going to use a hero point to reroll this.
Oh, how heroic. Do it.
Yeah. Swear to God, it's another 1.
Yep.
Okay, that's much better.
Dude, that's so much better.
Oh, I was worried. Okay, you heal. That's
It's
19.
19.
Yeah,
Yeah.
19 hit points.
Cool. I am back up to full. Thank you.
Did it go over your full?
and
Oh shit! It did.
You gain that as temporary hit points for the next 4 hours.
Hold on.
Seems to be a statue over here that's angry.
Yeah, just Tangerine just walks up and just whack,
There we
back to
go.
normal.
just walk up and stab her and shout, "Now it's fair," and then walk away.
Wow.
All right. So, Sharut, the post-combat ritual of everyone crowding around you and going, me first, me first, me first, is now done.
So because of your comment on the good berries, I do think I did heal last session to full.
Oh, you ate good berries?
Yeah, I would have eaten good berries.
Okay, that's fine.
Because Zeract gave them to us.
I'm not super concerned about it. Like, I think there's healing enough that you guys will be fine, and there's also threat enough that having 4 or 5 hit points in the long term is not super. I mean, it might if you get knocked down to like -8 or something, but what are the odds of that?
Yeah, how would that ever happen?
Yeah.
Mm,
Not like there's con damage in this dungeon.
You guys have not encountered con damage yet.
yet.
Yeah.
Ahem.
So, now that everybody's healed, Lumio, you're healed up. Yours takes a little bit longer. Dandern has to tinker on you for about 10 minutes, but he's able to
Tinker.
knock some parts back into place and weld a few things and clean up your scuffs.
He's just on fire.
Yeah.
Why are you doing all these things?
Yeah, he's like bolting on fresh pieces where there weren't any before and then taking them off for no reason. The animation includes all of these things. It's not really his choice.
Oh, okay.
I'm hitting my hammer on your shoulders and things are happening.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's just smacking you with a wrench and parts are falling off and then being put back on, and it's that standard video game logic.
Oh, got it. Okay. I was worried it was something less complicated.
So, what's up? What would you all like to do now?
Liam, how are you faring?
Well, cold. Been hit a lot. I'm not dead, but I've been
That's good.
close. So, I guess an overall meh.
I appreciate you not running away when I gave you the opportunity.
Where would I go?
Still, I'll remember that. I appreciate it. I'll always have you back.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I have a very big back and I have a very small one, so easier to cover. Mine.
Yes. Washidna, Corley, are you two faring well?
So when Forsidna says I'm fine, at the same time Corley says I'm good,
All right.
and then they both just kind of look at each other and look at you and then nod again.
All right. Fair enough. Did the Minotaur drop a hammer here? Or an
He
axe or
dropped
tool of
he
any kind?
dropped an axe, a very big axe.
I would like to appraise his big axe.
Sure, go ahead and appraise his big axe.
I'll just
Yeah, you spend
As long
some
as it-
time sort of looking at it.
I take time and I look at it.
This is actually you'll have to roll for this one just because it's a little odd.
Okay.
You will probably make it, but you'll have to roll. Yeah, you definitely make it. This is a very old axe head with a fairly new handle. The handle being wood and the axe head being like essentially just old and sort of offset. It's got one of these designs where let's see, where you have sort of the stick and then one axe head kind of comes out this way and then the other one sort of comes down this way.
It's got one of those weird ones.
Yeah. And it's just huge and it's really old, but surprisingly well made. So what you have found is a +1 large great axe. But you would estimate the age of the blade at least a few thousand years old. And not just a few thousand years old, but a very well kept few thousand years old.
This is probably important.
Yeah. Do you have knowledge history?
Do I? No.
Okay.
Sharut.
It's a nice old axe.
Sharut. This axe appears to be old and quite well made, and I think it might have a history, but I can't be sure.
Sherwood kind of scooches next to him, starts looking at it.
Give me a knowledge history check there for Sharut. You're not certain as to the age. Tell me, does Sharut speak giant?
I believe he does. Hang on. Yes, he does.
Okay, you're not certain as to the age, but you do speak or you do recognize a couple of the runes. They're not written in the same sort of, like they're giant in terms of script, but they don't really make sense as you read them due to the age of the axe. But like looking at that and then combined with your knowledge history check, you're fairly certain that this axe predates things like the Dakani, like the Empire.
Can I do a linguistics check on the runes?
Yeah, sure.
But that's a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
That's cocked.
It's cocked. Yes, you're fairly certain that this is written in sort of like an ancient giant script that would like I said, it predates the Dakani Empire. This is from the giant empire that originally settled Zindric. Zindric being the continent to the south of Corvair. It's a very, very old axe head.
Okay.
Like it, looking at it and making kind of like the history appraisal that you've made. This has nothing to do with Spearhold, but it's still a like scholarly find. And clearly this dude has been ruin delving somewhere else a time or two.
As Sharut is going to drag the axe towards Dandarin and say, you said Zendract, right?
Zindric.
Zendrick. Sharut cannot speak of handle. Appears new.
Well, the handle's new.
Axehead, however, very old. Older than Dakani Empire. Believe from original founders of original kingdom in Zendrak. Giant empire.
Well, it is a giant axe. That would make sense.
It is quite a good find. Would like to study, but
Well,
understand you have uses that would probably be more apt at this time.
I have a few ideas, but at the same time, Tertia, you traveled with this one, yes?
Yeah.
You said something about him having a mate, a partner of kinds. That there was a pair of minotaurs.
I don't know if it was a mate, but there were definitely two.
Well, while they might be totally unrelated, it's still, if we find the other one alive, I'd like to ask her if.
Yeah, I'd very
Their
much like to
relation,
find them
which-
alive too. So
Right. Well,
we should probably get moving.
I mean,
yes. We'll come back for this. It's at the entrance.
before they go, Sharut's gonna kind of check this dude's body.
Yeah, it's so otherwise the Minotaur's wearing like a large breastplate and they've got some various bits and bobs in bags attached to the belt. the only bit that would probably concern you is a day's worth of rations and a pouch containing 3 gold and 13 silver.
Shame. No potions. Okay. He gives the meaningless pieces of metal to the dwarf.
Who even needs money? Back in the Dakani Empire, we used to. Yeah, we know. Whatever. Yeah, sure.
It just goes on for like.
Yeah, he goes on. He goes on one of his back in the Dakani Empire sort of rants, and everyone's just like, yeah.
The Dakani, remember?
Okay, Grandpa.
Your people
Whatever you say.
were defeated with the power of imagination. I don't want to hear it.
He's speaking in like the guttural old Dakani. You can only understand like half of what he's saying.
I can't understand any of it.
Your people were defeated with the power of imagination. That is so weirdly true for the Dakani Empire.
So correct. It's so correct.
We
It
taught
hurts,
them
but
about
yes.
fiction, and they fell apart.
You don't know what it means.
I have to have concepts.
We didn't even get to the weird shit. It was just like child's fiction and shit.
So
Everybody poops. They didn't understand.
no, well, that's just a fact.
This based in fact. Fine.
It's that whole everybody thinks about things they can't immediately see, and they're just like witchcraft. So what would the group like to do at this point?
I say that we head up on the right side over there and pursue these creatures and clear the halls.
To get back.
Alternatively, we can go to the left and follow the other one.
Or straight, or, these other ones over here.
Yeah. At the moment in the room that you're in, you have a door there, a door there, and a door there, as well as a staircase there, a staircase there.
Well, how about we clear out the first floor then and make our way up?
One moment. Dandering, which direction did creatures run?
I
The
didn't catch any of
creatures?
that.
The creatures ran that way. The one that took my hammer ran that way.
Sharut think it unwise for us to leave flank exposed.
And we shall clear out this area.
Edarin, by chance,
Yes.
had you gilded your hammer at all?
Gilded?
Yes, put any sort of gold decoration on it.
No. I had just...
That's unfortunate.
I don't remember making the hammer as it is, so it's coming back to me slowly, but it was an axe before, I think, and I made it into a hammer, and I believe that is the extent of what I have done so far.
Dwarf, no gold, not good metal for a weapon. Anyway,
Eventually,
Silver and gold are rubbish.
Eventually, Denderon's going to figure out exactly what was going on, and then he is going to just go like, "Oh my god, I've missed so much."
It'd be a good time.
Do these bodies have any? Did we loot gold off of them?
Nobody has checked them.
I will check it.
So as far as gold, they don't have that. This one has sort of some tattered robes that look like it's probably made out of kind of hastily sewn together pieces of other clothing. This one has pretty much a loincloth. There is really nothing of value on this guy.
I'm not checking extensively.
Okay. However, this one does have an amulet and a ring on it. Both of which, to your sort of draconic greed senses, go, ooh, pretty and shiny and probably valuable.
Do they also detect this magic?
They do, both of them.
I will make the spellcraft rolls.
Okay, go ahead.
This is for the ring. This is for the amulet.
Gonna be a hot one in the old town tonight.
Eric, take your luck back.
I mean, you want I should take a look at those?
Direct will pass them over. Yes.
Okay.
I will identify the items in question.
Sounds good. Okay, so the ring you are able to identify as a ring of protection +1,
Mm-hmm.
and the amulet is a crap. What do you call it? A necklace, a necklace of Mighty Fist, an amulet of Mighty Fist. There you go. It's an amulet of Mighty Fist.
Wow.
Gross.
It is also +1. The amulet more or less is not on a chain. There's like 2 loops in it that are sort of looped through this thing's collarbones. So you have the amulet sort of floating there, and then it has like this circle kind of, or the chain doesn't go around its neck. It's just kind of hooked into its collarbone.
Wow.
Gross.
So if you do, yeah, like basically if you do want to wear it, you'll have to like fashion some sort of thong or chain or something to put it on you.
Whatever will I be able to do that? Oh, look, I made it. Hold on. Let's make it official.
Yeah, like
Oh, look, I
it's,
made it.
it's not incredibly hard. You can do it out of a shoestring. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah. No,
gross.
I make the thing.
He's like, yeah, but I want to roll the die and see the number.
Number make me feel happy.
So yeah, you find the 2 of those.
Right. I will keep the ring, and then perhaps we can sell this amulet.
Mm.
It enhances one's natural prowess with pugilism, or I guess someone who fought with hands and foot. It'd be quite useful for. Your ringer probably like it. Maybe give it to him as a gift.
I actually fight with my hands from time to time.
Would you like the amulet?
It would do me no harm.
Then you may have it.
All
I
right.
appreciate this. Thank you.
You don't even have any flesh to get grossed out by it.
No, but I will
Dude.
do so anyway.
What is going on with Foundry? Oh, I have to click the thing that lets me click people. This is completely user error, and I'm getting very irritated by it.
Yeah.
I was still on the pencil thing from where I drew the axe, and I was like, I can't click people.
Submit a help request.
So,
Just because I can't click people.
where would you all like to go from here? You got 2 sets of stairs going up. You got a door to your right, door to your left, door in front of you.
Shrewd, do you have any knowledge of where the seat of power would be here? My assumption would be through the large doors to the north of us, but we probably want to proceed there last, I would think, unless we need to make haste.
I think checking the wings might be a good idea, just to scout them out.
Sounds good
I'm
to
not
me.
proposing a plan of action. I'm proposing a point of information.
Yeah, that sounds. That
Oh, that
sounds
makes
right,
sense.
But Sharut does have familiarity with these kinds of structures. So, John Eric, I assume Sharut would know where the seat of power is.
You can give me an engineering and architecture roll.
Any pluses?
Yeah, I'd give you a +2. I mean, you're somewhat familiar with old Dakani things. So, much like Lumio suggested, it is going to be on the opposite end of where you came in. Typically, throne rooms, seats of powers, war rooms, that sort of thing, they're going to be opposite the big entryway. As far as what's in the wings or what's between you and that, it could be anything else that you would need in a castle. So it could be training rooms, it could be sleeping quarters, it could be kitchens, or there could be the jakes or whatever else. Studies, libraries, whatever. There's kind of an endless possibility, but to answer your question, yes, the other side of the building is probably where the actual seat of power is.
Okay. Illumio.
Assumption correct. Lumio, seat of power. That direction. Agree
Excellent.
with Dandrick. We should check wings.
I
Feel
also
there's
agree.
much here that we could profit from.
Yes, but we also need to be aware of our physical states, as the cold is beginning to get worse as we get closer.
You are correct. Cold, constant battle, as it has been.
Indeed.
Also, I don't mean anything by this. Lumio, you look very tired, which I didn't think was possible.
I have been expending a great deal of effort in order to keep us fighting fit. I spent more than I should have in the last several battles due to the danger imposed. So I will be more tactical about how I utilize what resources I have remaining, lest I become totally unable to assist.
All right. Appreciate you letting us know.
There also is a small or a large possibility that I will create areas of effect around me that may or may not be dangerous in order to kind of stretch what power I have remaining.
All right.
Sharut would like help, but, well,
And he just motions at you.
I'd do everything that I can to help you, but you're not a person.
Oh, thank you.
The whole of you is not organic.
Oh, sorry. I took it a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You decided to make the Dakani translation.
Yeah, I made the Dakani translation, and Sharut
Right.
went with something a little more modern. So,
Well, I mean, he would probably say not a person, but mean like, not flesh, because
No, he'd mean it exactly like it
no,
sounds.
he would be like, but you are not a person. I mean, you are fake. I mean, you're not made of things Sharut cares about. I mean,
he just
Oh, not
Damn.
real.
going over.
and he would just look with like longing at someone close by and be like, please help.
See, I'd feel offended if you were trying to say this in common, but since it's coming across completely in Goblin, I'm fine.
He's just making weird goblin noises. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
I suggest we go this way.
Which way?
Good pointing. Oh,
All right.
all right.
So you start heading that way. I will.
Oh, she goes. It's a bit slick offside the carpet.
I will move the two NPCs. So this door
I move at
over
half
here
speed.
is open. As soon as you get close to it, and your light spreads a little bit more, you can see much better. Zarak, what you are seeing, I didn't put it all in here, is a hallway that clearly has had some fights in it. There's kind of blood splatter on the walls, but for the most part, it's not super present on the floor. You're not seeing, a ton of it the way that you were seeing in the other room. The floor at least looks like it has been taken care of, but it's still very, very slick. Up the hall to your right, you see an open door. Behind you, you see a closed door. And I believe some of you with low light vision can just make out another door further on, along with some rubble and a couple of statues.
Mhm.
So,
Zeract is gonna point to Dendron and say, "Check the door behind us, the closest one. At least we have line of sight of all of the rest of these things."
are you talking about this door right here?
I
Yes.
think he means this door right here. Yeah.
So,
Oh God.
yeah. When you open that door, it opens into what looks like a carpeted room with a column in the middle. There's some broken tables and chairs. On the carpet, there's a lot of evidence that a fight happened. There's also what looks to be sort of broken, shattered weapons racks, and this is one of the places that sort of overlooks the entryway. Anybody who has ever been to sort of a castle before would know that this is some sort of guard room. That's what this is.
All right.
Yeah. And Zarak, you can actually, like, as you move in, you can see out the windows a little bit. They're definitely like sort of closed and frosted over, but you can see that there are actual openable windows that you can shoot out of.
Zeract is gonna take a couple of moments to just kind of sweep the detect magic around the room.
Nothing is ringing as sort of immediately magically viable.
Cool.
You see that there's rubble. There's rubble of the tables. There's definitely a few sort of like frozen or fossilized corpses in places. But you're not detecting that there's anything here that's magically active.
Okay. Just gonna do a once over and just be like, this room looks unimpressive. There's stairways here. Somebody would like to take them.
I think we need to continue on this floor before we go up.
All right. And Danderen, as you move up and you look into that room, what you can see from where you are looks to be sort of a kind of a gathering hall. You're seeing sort of like comfortable chairs surrounding tables. You're seeing rugs kind of haphazardly placed along with the requisite bloodstains along the rugs. It looks like a common room. In sort of crowded dwarven halls where you have, everybody has a room to sleep in, or maybe communal rooms to sleep in. This would be the sort of communal room to hang out in.
A communal room here. Zarak, do you want to see if there's...
Sure.
No. poke my head in.
Okay.
Percy will follow behind.
Sounds good.
We've got a few rooms in here.
Zorax does sweep over the main room from where she can. I believe it's 30 feet, so probably halfway in.
Yeah, so far from where you are looking into the room, you don't find anything. And you can go to each of these and spend some time not getting anything here, and go over to this one, not getting anything. And like, these rooms look like they were ransacked. It looked like whatever happened here, a lot of people died in their bed. You can actually still see a few corpses in some of them. This is still showing the evidence of whatever fight went on here hundreds and thousands of years later.
Yeah. Look out, it looks like there's an oven on the far end.
Kill it now.
So that's
Churut, bring the bomb.
That's not actually
that's
an
not
oven.
an oven.
That's not an oven. Those are the Jakes. Those are toilets.
Close enough, it's another hole that might eat you.
It's another hole, and it might eat you. So
Root
yeah.
throws a bomb.
Further in, you see that these are sort of single occupant rooms. Some of them have desks along with the wardrobe. But as you're going through, just doing a sort of sweeping detect magic, you're not picking up much aside from the general ambiance of the fact that you're in a manifesto. Like, that's kind of always there in the back of your mind as you're detecting magic, but you're not picking up any sort of items of value.
Shrewd, if you and Dandrin would like to dig through these desks to find if there's any correspondence of note, I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah, he'll
No.
do.
I'll check these desks here.
Okay.
Shrewd will help.
And
Sure.
then Zorax is going to do
Or
the bad
he'll make
thing.
his own perception check, I suppose.
No perception check needed. As you guys are looking through this, it looks like somebody has beaten you to a lot of this. Whatever correspondence was here was already sort of like, this place was ransacked. The wardrobes aren't holding much. Every drawer is open. Most of the interiors of the things that you're seeing, like the wardrobe here and the desk, they're on the floor, and they have been subject to all of the rime and the frost that has been building. So no correspondence.
Shame. There does not appear to be anything of value left. If there was, someone got to it before us. I say we move on.
I agree. Also, there's another pair of stairs here. Well, flight of stairs.
Yeah, there are more stairs there.
This just feels like living quarters, basically.
We want to go up this side.
Pretty much.
Make our
Yeah,
way
it
back
feels
down
like
the
living
other
quarters.
side.
Given this sort of general crowdedness of it, you would guess that it's either servants or lower-ranking soldiers and house guards.
Okay. So since this is kind of like off beaten path, would Root know if there's a like, I kind of want to just check this room and be done with it. So like, check the upstairs too and be done with it, and then go back down. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So.
This is more for the party.
I understand.
It's up to you as to where you go. What you know about this place is what I've told you.
Yeah.
Like, your knowledge of architecture in general can't let you look at a building and be like, I know the precise layout of that.
Yeah. I was just I was thinking out loud for a moment.
Gotcha.
Then I realized my question was stupid, so I didn't follow it through.
Should we go up these stairs or continue on? that way?
I don't think we check these stairs. Believe find rooms similar. Then we can come back down and move forward.
All right. That's one vote for up.
Sure.
I'm fine going up.
All right. Let
Think.
me copy everyone real quick. Real quick, I need everybody to give me some acrobatics rolls.
That end.
Yeah, I don't have like teleportation modules in
I
here.
know.
There are teleportation modules. I didn't put them in because sometimes you guys wander off, and I don't want the whole group to just be like, and we're all on different floors.
Very good.
Zoraak, you're fine. You get upstairs fine. It's iced. There's handrails, but you're fine. Dandrin, you do great. Tertia, you're a trooper. Delian, you're good.
Yo.
Sharut, you're good. It looks like we're
Oh,
up.
damn it. Made me two.
It looks like we're up to Lumio, who goes tumbling down the ground. Lumio, you go sliding back down the steps. You take 2 damage.
Oh boy. Let's see here. Eric, how many health did you give me when you healed me?
13.
13. Okay.
And I will start activating the level 2. It is
Do I hear a diesel generator starting up?
It is a
How big is
similarly
that map?
sized map. It is. It is also big.
Oh,
It's
Lordy.
like the second floor is the same size as the first floor.
Yeah, but the
Almost.
second floor goes ho 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 when entering a room. I don't know
Oh.
why. Yeah,
it's so you all come out into another living area. That's what it looks like is at the
Do
top.
we?
It looks much the same. And I will
Almost identical. Oh, there it is.
almost identical.
Okay.
I was still putting everybody down. Hold on a minute.
I got you. I got you.
I know that I've done that, but I was actually doing the thing.
It's
Zarak-
you know.
Zarax is gonna do what she's been doing. so-
Okay. Going over all of this, it looks like this has been exceptionally gone through.
Yep.
And you don't detect anything in here. However, I'm gonna move your dude real quick. Give control. When you're here, you
Yep.
do detect something through this wall. You detect evocation. So it's nothing in the room, but you detect like evocation magic through the wall. And
Does it seem like it's
go
moving?
back to there.
Uh-huh.
It's right on the other side of where you are.
Dandrin, can you come look at this stonework here?
Sure.
Finally, he says.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
unusual.
unusual?
There's something on the other side of the wall here, just right here.
Oh, unfortunate. It was made of ice.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, Dandrid.
Of course.
Oh, it's cocked.
Tinkering with it, moving it around, or trying to move it around, there's nothing that indicates to you that this is unusual stonework. It doesn't indicate that there's a trapdoor or a secret door or anything like that. This seems to be a fairly solid, well-constructed wall. It is much like the rest of the place that you've seen in here, strangely mortared with ice instead of mortar, but it's still a well-constructed wall.
It appears to just be a well-constructed wall. Whatever's magical on the other side is, well, it's strictly on the other side.
Well, then I guess I know where we're headed. And then she will peek her head out, just her
Hey,
head,
John,
out in this hallway.
I don't.
Just her head gets cut off. How weird.
What was that?
I don't think I'm on the map. I can't see.
Well, I will, what about now?
Oh, hey, look, light.
I don't know why everybody copied over but hey, you're here now. So yeah, Zorak, looking out, you are able to see, let's see. Actually, that would be closed. Locked doors. I didn't know where you guys would go yet. So you are able to see to your left, there is a closed door that, is the same distance away as the guard room door was on the floor below you. And there's also a door right here that kind of lines up with the door on the first floor that you used to get into this hall. To your right, you can see this room has much less in the way of curves and statues than the floor below it, but it still has sort of the blood splatters on the walls and the kind of oddly clean floor.
Gotcha.
Also, further on down the hallway to your right, you do see an open door that, like I said, it's an open door.
Yep. All right. Zaract is gonna point south and say, "Remember when I suggested that we head up the stairs in the guard room? It's weird. It's almost like that would be where we came out." And then she just starts moving this way.
Now remember, I saw at least one of them go up here. Oh, wait, Zarak, this room would have the magic in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as everybody starts moving up, Zarak, what you can see from there looks to be some sort of entryway, hallway, sort of thing. Just inside the hallway, to your right, you see a set of stairs going down. And ahead of you, you can see a room. Like there's a door that's open, and then ahead of that is a door that's shut.
Yes.
You can. That's pretty much all you can get from there.
All right.
So as Zorak's looking at that, is anyone else like Delian, Lumio? I know you guys are sort of catching up. Are you doing anything else?
I can't really see very well into that room, so.
Okay.
Didn't somebody give me a light source?
I did.
There's I believe you have a light source on you.
Yeah, I gave you a torch.
Yeah, just
Oh,
it's not changing. Yeah.
Sorry, for some reason,
Thank you.
you do not have a light source on you. I will update your. Okay, you should now
Thank
be
you.
radiating light.
I am, and that makes me happier. All right. Yeah. They seem to be interested in this room, so I will follow them.
Okay.
Very generally.
All right. And Lumio, like I was telling Zeract, as you're heading in, there's a stairway to your right. And then you see as
Going
you get
up or down or both.
it goes down. You guys are on, for the most part, you guys are on the top floor. There's part of the castle has a third floor, but for most of the castle, the second floor is the top floor.
Okay.
And then ahead of you, once you get a little bit closer and get a little bit more light in, ahead of you and to your left, you see a lot of statues. They sort of look like the heads of beasts, but instead of taxidermied, they are carved of stone.
Do I recognize? Are they hunting trophies to me, or are they legendary beasts that they would have the tribe would have contended with?
It could be either. You see that there's definitely there's a motif to them of pretty much everything that you're seeing is large, dangerous, and four-legged. Yeah, there's a lot of chimera heads or manticore heads. You see a dragon or two as you move.
I'll shout out to Shrewd, low shout, as if we're in a dangerous place. These appear to be reliquary or historical spots. It might be worth jotting down the names of the creatures.
What is this one?
Farouk kind of walks into the room. It's just
Wait.
Can I roll a knowledge dungeoneering?
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, it would be a knowledge. It would be a knowledge arcana check.
Oh,
I can do that too.
Farouk does not have that.
This button.
Both of you are able to identify this because you recently saw something that was very sort of similar to it. So it looks, the head looks like this terrifying, multi-eyed, fanged monstrosity with sort of a fan of stone behind it. It is clearly the head of a Remoras.
Ah.
You know, that huge thing that you saw before.
Mm-hmm. Zeract is going to kind of like... Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes. Good old
I
friend.
love it. Zeract is going to kind of sidle around and under this dragon head or whatever this is and kind of angle the detect magic to try and figure out where the source of the evocation is coming from.
Okay. It definitely does appear to be coming from this thing.
Okay.
Lumio's going to cautiously work his way down this way.
Okay. And all right, so Lumio is headed down that way. Lumio, Tercia, the two of you see a large statue structure right here that is basically it essentially looks like four hobgoblins, two male and two female, and they are all sort of kneeling, basically kind of like sumo squatting, back to back with a pillar behind them. And they are dressed in sort of like monks' robes. The statues they look like the sort of aesthetic ideal that people think of when they think of like a fantasy monk, like all rippling, bulging muscles and that sort of. And yeah, so you just see like they're all back to back, but they're not touching their backs because there's that pillar right there. And then Tertia, you're seeing much the same here in terms of the like animal heads. Like here's a manticore, here's a dragon, here's a griffin, here's some sort of gigantic bird that has 20 eyes and 3 of them are on tentacles, and there's just a lot of like not quite taxidermy, but other things.
Good old not quite taxidermy.
Yeah.
Gross. Well, I mean, the monk thing is interesting. There's no way for Tercia to know anything about that.
Yeah,
So she
I
would
mean,
just move on.
yeah, that's just what it looks like.
Yep.
You can also see both of you now that Lumio's light is there. Tercy, you can kind of make it out a little bit. There's an open door right here, and you can see kind of the hints of a rug just at the edge of your vision. Looks like a skin more than a carpet. So I guess like a rug more than yeah. So Delian, do anything?
He'll probably be like moseying about, checking like all these things, not really doing anything in particular, just being around, kind of taking in the sights, because this is like the most interesting thing I would say Delian's seen here.
Okay.
So he's kind of enthralled by said things.
Yeah. It looks like a weird museum. Like,
Yeah,
that's
something
probably the
he
best
would
way I
never
can put it.
rob.
Yeah, like this is definitely the kind of like if this was a noble's house and it was above ground and it wasn't in some frozen hobgoblin death dungeon, this definitely looks like the kind of place Delian would rob.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Does my sphere of energy produce light at all?
It produces about as much light as like so the purpose of the spell is not to radiate light. So it's fire.
Yeah.
So of course it produces some light, but it wouldn't be a lot.
Yeah. Why I ask is if I sent it as a sphere through this doorway to about there, it would cause some flickering that I could see something move in the shadows from, or if it freaked out, it would dance away.
Potentially. Yeah, that could potentially work. So you wanna make your sphere in there?
Yeah.
Okay. You make a little
And I just move it where I can see.
Okay.
And then let it go.
Yeah,
It
and
doesn't cost me any skill points.
you're just kind of moving it around, and you can see a little bit better the area. Like I said, the light it's not producing a lot of light because the spell is meant to just cause like damage.
Yeah.
But it does.
But if I-
it does have to produce some because it's fire. Like if you made it fire,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Well, lightning. But
yeah.
Static or
And you can fly it around. What you see is a desk that looks like it's been ransacked. You see a bed that looks surprisingly well made. And like the bed is still made. The desk has been ransacked, but the bed hasn't. And you see a pair of bearskin rugs on the ground.
I release my concentration on it. And,
All right.
I just didn't want anybody to get jumped by a Dolgar who was hiding in the rafters.
Sounds good. So that in mind, I'll jump back over to Zarak and Sharut. Zarak and Sharut.
Jack is examining this thing to figure out what the hell it is. How it
Sharuk's
works.
taking notes, and we'll do history check if need.
So, Zarak, give me a perception check. Trying to think of how to put this. You're fairly certain that what this thing is supposed to do, what the spell tells you is that this thing has a cold energy propulsion, like it shoots it. You don't know what triggers that, but you know that that's what it does. So like studying it, you can look at it and go like, okay, so what would happen is that from the Remorse's mouth, it like cold energy comes out. That's the evocation magic that you're picking up on. But Zarak isn't really educated in these sorts of things and doesn't necessarily know more than that.
All right. Sure, figure out what this thing is. It's certainly magical. I get the gist of it. I just don't know why.
He kind of looks up from his notes and
Oh, yes, yes.
walks over and starts sketching it as he's examining it.
It looks like the head of the picture that I showed you. And yeah. Give me a perception check.
Let's see. Sorry. Nope.
Yeah. You're from what you can see, it's just this thing.
Appears head of Moror.
What was it? Amoraz?
A Remores.
Ramoraz.
Head of Ramoras. Shurut cannot tell difference.
And starts sketching some of the other stuff in the room.
Okay. Sounds good. While Sharut is sketching other things, what are the rest of you doing?
Probably gonna try this door.
Yes. So, that is going to start a thing. So I'm going to pause it real. The room ahead of you, Tertia, what you see is there is a glowing symbol on the ground. It looks like a series of runes, and the runes here just radiate cold energy. and they're slowly pulsing with light. As you open the door, you see them pulse again, and you can literally watch ice form on top of the ice on the wall. You see ice crawl up the sword in your hand. I need everybody to make me a fortitude save, please.
Well,
Okay.
Once again.
Fortitude, you say?
Fortitude. This is versus cold, so this is versus the cold weather effect. So if you have your cold weather gear, you get your +5.
Okay. Mine is 5 higher then.
Ooh, Lumio and Tertia. All right. So Zorak will actually make hers. Everybody looks like they're good except for Lumio and Tertia. So for the 2OU, you have just been hit by extreme cold. So first of all, you each take 5 points of cold damage.
Seems about right.
This is lethal cold damage. You will also take 1d4. Or sorry. You will to everybody. Sorry, I read this wrong. My apologies. Everybody will take the 5 points of cold damage. It just washes over everybody in this place. For those that failed the save, you will also take 4 points of non-lethal cold damage as it just sort of soaks into your bones.
Thanks for those temp hit points, Sharut.
Remember, the actual damage counts down, the non-lethal counts up. So
That doesn't make sense, but all right.
So yeah, it just, the temperature basically goes from around, say, like 40 degrees Fahrenheit to like -50 in the snap of a finger. It happens as soon as that pulse happens, and then Tertia, you start to hear movement in that room moving towards you. So at this point, I am going to start initiative.
I feel like that wave of cold would wash over Sharut, and he would shiver, and he would say,
Sharut head, cold.
I've only got a hat.
Not remind. Need hat.
Yay.
All right. So I don't know why it says human skeleton. They are not human skeleton. I changed the name of the thing, but it doesn't change the name of the token. Interesting. Okay, so Tertia, you start to hear the rattling of bones, and then you see this flayed creature that is more skeleton than flesh, with iced over tendons and a jagged ice-coated blade, and it walks over and swings it at you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez.
I believe I am currently flat-footed.
You are indeed, because the combat started, and you don't have the uncanny dodges. So a 22 will
hit my normal AC.
for 3 points of damage. Take it.
Ick.
After that, oh yeah, I guess I don't have to keep going back and forth. After that, it is going to be Corley's turn, and Corley will step forward and say, "What's happening? I don't see anything." And you'll see the energy start to like build up her arm. And after that, it is going to be a hobgoblin zombie. So you see this thing, this creature, sort of walk across the runes, Tertia, and as it does, the ice just coats up its body, and by the time it gets to you, it almost looks like it's wearing armor. But it's also a zombie, so it gets to you and can't do much. It is then your turn.
Well, I'm going to switch to my bladed scarf.
Okay.
Gonna hit this zombie in front of me, alone, the armor one.
Gonna hit the armored zombie. Yeah.
Yep. I am still being affected by that, like the thing from the door in the other building.
Thing from the door. No, sorry.
I'm not.
The -1 to all the stuff that is worn off for you, for everybody right now.
Then I need to take that off.
Yeah.
I have forgotten how to do that. 1 second.
Have we rested since
There it is. Got it.
I last played?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. That will hit the zombie. You smack into it, and not only hit it, you kind of chip away some of the ice.
Perfect.
And this is a slashing weapon?
It is.
It is indeed. Okay, so that's going to be 8 points.
But that was also using my ankle strike. So guess what? You stay up.
I do indeed. Anything else?
Well, I was hoping to move in after that, but that's not going to happen. So I will instead move there.
Okay, sounds good. Dandrin, it is your turn, and Tertia just kicked in the door in a dangerous thing. Eric,
He's
if you're talking,
muted.
you're muted.
She sure did. Well, I guess I'll hit it.
Alrighty.
Hey, he's got armor.
That didn't roll anything. There we go. Yes, you do a massive cleave to this thing and knock off a bunch more of the ice. It still looks to be up, but it's not up by much. You have cut into this body, and whatever fell magics are holding it together don't seem to be holding it together quite as strong anymore. Do you have anything else you can do from there?
Nope.
All right. Zarat, you hear this kind of as claws are reaching out towards Dandrin and Tertia.
Alrighty. Zarak like moves up from the crouch that she had underneath this dragon thing, turns around, and immediately sees a hobgoblin skeleton. So she's gonna shoot it.
Okay. You will be able to hit it, but with the pillar here, it's going to have cover. So you can still take your attack. It just has cover.
Okay, cool. Let's just do that.
So here's
Phenomenal.
Here's the thing about zombies. They have a touch attack of like 9. But with cover, that will miss. So you actually mar the pillar.
This is fine.
Okay. And after that is going
The only
to
one
be
who saw it was Shrewd.
for Sidna.
Who like,
Um,
squeals in displeasure.
and for Sidna is going to
I've never heard you make that sound.
fail.
He calls dishonorable and Oblicon in many different ways.
Delian, it's your turn.
All right. It looks like the whole entire crowd has just kind of moved in.
Yeah.
Delian's not actually feeling all that great. But from here, can he do a hook and pulley dirty attack on that there zombie there?
Yes. Similar to what I was saying with Zeract, it'll get cover since you're sort of like kind of firing it kind of around the door. But
Yeah,
you can
that makes sense.
You can definitely attempt it.
Fantastic. So cover. What's that minus for?
I'll
They
just
get
I'll just
to their defense.
yeah, I'll just add the bonus to the defense.
All right.
And that'll do it actually. So you blind it, I assume, or are you trying to pants
I'm gonna.
it?
I honestly, now that you said it like that, definitely pants. I wanted to do that anyway, but like I want to double down on that. now.
Okay, so the zombie, which already can't move and attack, has now been slowed because you reached out with your extendo grip and took its belt. You're a monster.
It feels so good.
Sharut, it's your turn. We have a madcap comedy of errors going on. What would you like to do?
Sharut will move here.
Okay. And
And
to
can
note, you can all stand in these, but if you're not small sized, meaning if you're not Delian or Sharut, you are counted as squeezing because these things are coming at basically they're at about head height for everyone else. But for Delian and Sharut, they're fine.
In theory, if I were to move underneath there, would I be able to shoot one of these guys?
No,
or would
no.
they be- okay.
There's no way to get there's no way to get a shot from.
Can I shoot that guy?
You can. He will still have cover, but yes.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Does Sharut have knowledge religion?
yeah, he does not. That's why I was going to
Sounds great.
make
Take
the
your
full
shots.
attack. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh boy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everything's gonna be great.
Everything's going to be great.
I don't know why we're not shooting him right now.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
All right. You shoot a crossbow bolt through the rib cage of the skeleton. And what's your next attack do?
We're going to find out.
All right. So the 1d4 plus 2 will do damage. So it'll take 3 from the flashbang, because the flashbang deals bludgeoning damage. It won't take anything from the actual arrow itself.
Would you kindly make me a fortitude save, John Eric? But also, you don't have to. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
understand if you don't want to.
You can't deafen a skeleton. I would
Yeah.
say that it can be dazzled though. So I will roll its fortitude, which
Wait,
ain't great
I thought-
because get this, they don't have a
wait.
con score.
I thought undead were just immune to fortitude saves. Is that wrong?
I'm thinking constructs. Constructs are immune to fortitude save.
No, I thought it was also undead because of how low their constitution is.
I
No,
mean,
that was 3.5 in Pathfinder. They got rid of that.
so-
Yeah, it depends on the undead.
Yeah, it depends. From what I remember, it depends on the undead. But I will do a check-in. Immune to all mind affecting effects, bleed, death effects, disease, paralysis, poison, sleep effects, stunning. Not subject to non-lethal ability drain, energy drain. Immune to physical ability damage as well as to exhaustion and fatigue. Cannot heal itself. Immune to any effect that requires a fortitude save unless that also works on objects or is harmless. You cannot dazzle or daze an object, so I will not roll. How dare you attempt to make me try?
You haven't seen me try.
That's why I suggested it.
Yeah. So, I will at that point activate the next skeleton, who will walk forward and stab at the Dandrin. Dandrin, you are fighting with your Bardish, correct?
Yes.
Was that it? Yes.
That was a yes.
That was a yes.
I heard, like I heard cat sounds.
That's the dwarven yes.
Man, I was like, oh, he doesn't have the shield that gives him all the ACs. I might be able to hit, but no. And after that is going to be Lumio. Lumio, you see this
question.
sort of frozen, ice-riddled skeleton step through and try to stab Dandrin with a broken sword and not be able to penetrate armor.
I have a question for you. How many times can I make wild magic boosted via feats?
So, up to a percentage of 300. Anything past 300 just doesn't activate.
Okay. So I'm still within that range. That's cool. Second question. In my war sphere, I have a wild magic called Inspired Surge,
Okay.
which allows me to add a talent that I do not possess from the base sphere.
Okay.
Would that allow me to add a totem that I don't currently possess?
So it's called Inspired Sphere?
Inspired Surge, yes.
Inspired Surge. When casting a sphere effect, you may increase the wild magic chance to add a single talent that you do not possess of the spheres of the effect's base spheres. Yeah, it would let you add a talent, and if the talent that you're trying to add is a totem, that makes sense.
Okay. So, would you allow me then, therefore, to spend my move action to put down a totem, which is a talent that I have, using Inspired Surge to do a totem that I don't currently possess, while also using Inspired Surge to cast a, you know what? That'll only last a round. It's fine. I'm going to maintain concentration on the totem. But I'm going to do an Inspired Surge and an Energy Shift to put down a Destructive Wall of Force where that skeleton is, i.e. here. So it only lasts a round, but it would hurt him.
Shit.
And it would be fire.
Okay. So, first of all, please roll me a D100 to see what happens.
Would you like this to be war? Or
we're
the other one first?
rolling for the war sphere.
Okay. Okay. And
So a 38. You don't trigger 2 wild magic effects, but you do trigger 1. Please roll a D100.
okay.
All allied creatures within medium range of the caster share all teamwork feats possessed by the caster for 1 round. I don't believe you have any of those. So
Got none. You're
they
good.
They don't get them. Okay. So you
Too
drop
bad.
your totem. This totem
Is
I'm gonna
the invigorating totem.
yeah, I'm gonna put it out, and I'm gonna lessen the color because that stabs me in the eyes. Okay,
yeah.
it's the invigorating totem. What does the invigorating totem do?
You and your allies gain 1 temporary hit point per round at the end of your turn, plus 1 per 5 caster levels. These temporary hit points stack with themselves to a maximum number of temporary hit points equal to your caster level.
Okay, so right now everybody at the end of their turn gains 1 temporary hit point.
It says the end of your turn, so I think it's the end of mine
Okay,
Just
so
the
at the
ones
end of your turn,
Mhm.
everybody, all of your allies get 1 temporary hit point. Cool.
Yep.
You then do the energy sphere. Please roll a d100 for me.
All right. And this is going to be charged to fire, so this is versus, I think, 160.
Yeah, so you might activate this twice. Okay, you activated 2. Please roll 2d100 for me.
Oh boy.
1 and 2.
All
Oh,
right.
no.
So the 97 first. The effect is resolved as normal, but damage and secondary effects are not applied until the end of your next turn. 80,
Fuck, okay.
85. For 1d6 rounds, the caster leaves behind a glowing trail of destructive energy. Any creature that enters a square that has been occupied by the caster since the beginning of the caster's previous turn takes damage equal to the caster's level of a type corresponding to the blast. So you are now leaving a fire trail.
Oh wow.
Does it hurt me to stand still?
It does not.
Cool.
Okay, and then you made a wall. The energy wall that you make, can you please can you describe it? Like how long is this?
It's 5x5, so it's not a big one. But it would block the door for the duration of concentration, and I can only concentrate on the totem or the thing. So I'm
Okay.
gonna totem.
So you're just putting it right across the door then.
Yeah.
So it's hold on, I will get a little line. You make a firewall that does this.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's only going to affect things that move through it, right?
Yeah, creatures that pass through the wall.
Okay. Cool. So I'm letting you know they are mindless undead. They're going to be passing through the wall.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's fire because that'll warm up
yeah.
the room.
So next turn, Lumio, please roll damage for me. And I will stop drawing on that and click the right thing.
So at the end of the next turn, they take damage.
At the end of the next turn, he will take 5 points of damage. Okay. Dandarin and Tercia, the two of you will get attacks of opportunity as this guy has to move through that square.
Also, real quick, everybody get a temporary hit point.
Yes.
Okay.
Will do.
Tercia, you miss.
That makes sense.
Alrighty.
I mean,
And-
flaming zombie, pretty scary.
And he is going to end up next to 3 people, so I'm going to roll 1d3, starting at Dandarin, going down. He's going to swing at Delian.
What the fuck?
Look, I don't make the rules.
He's also squeezing.
I get it.
He is squeezing. Does a 19 hit you? Because he's squeezing. So he
Yeah, it sure does, bud.
Look, I don't make the rules. He stabbed you for 7. I'm real sorry.
I don't make the rules. I just come up and enforce them.
Yeah, I don't make them. I just come up with and enforce them and make sure that you all follow them, no matter what. But I don't make them.
The dude walks through a firewall, gets past the dwarf and the chick with a scarf and a blade, and goes, "You
and just
know."
stabs you. Just this broken short sword, just right into you.
Mindless, you say? I care to differ. This is garbage.
After that is going to be another zombie who will walk through the thing, getting covered by ice.
Don't.
It is going to move out as well. Dandarin, I don't know why you didn't make the attack of opportunity last time, but if you want to make it this time, go ahead. You have, let's say, 10 seconds.
I think he's away.
Wake him up.
Come on. I can't get hit again.
All right,
We
I think
can't
we're
have
good.
this, guys.
So, Andy, can you please roll me 2d6 for the Zambi? Ooh. All right. So, Skelly 5, Zambi 7. I'll remember that next round. It's guaranteed. Human
That's the
skeleton.
time works every time.
Human skeleton. Tercia, do you have combat reflexes?
I don't.
All right. Well, this guy is going to go to here. I have 3 targets.
Fuck you.
Rolls
This is horseshit. If you wanted me to play a new dude, you could just come out and say it. You don't have to torture me like this.
Look. Hold on. Does an 18 hit you?
Yeah.
All right.
John Eric, where did he pass through?
Like 4 people have walked by you. Which one did you want to hit? Well,
So here's the thing.
this is the one that
He-
walked by most recently. So,
Yeah, so here's the thing. If they move into here, the nature of the Bardish is such that I don't.
yeah, but this
This
guy,
does.
I know, and I said it to you twice.
Did you not notice that I wasn't here?
No, I didn't. This
Yeah,
guy,
I wasn't here. I even said the thing in the thing.
this guy,
My apologies.
walked by, and then this guy walked by, and then this guy walked by. So if you'd like, you can swing at this one.
Swing at that one. I'll try.
That is a mighty hit. You're using a Bardish, correct? You have the
doing
thing where you can
bludgeoning.
use any weapon like any other weapon, huh?
I am breaking the bones with
You are
bludgeoning. Yes.
breaking the bones with your bludgeoning Bardish.
I do B for breaking.
Okay. It takes a huge hit and then stabs Delian. Delian,
I tried, buddy.
Delian,
Yeah, what's up?
does an 18 hit you?
Yes, I had said it before. I get your need to just say it again, so I get it.
You take 5.
Cool.
And Andy, can you please roll me damage for your wall?
I guess you didn't like me pantsing a zombie, huh?
Hey, the zombie that you pantsed is still there and unable to move until next turn, when he will probably move to here
Those-
and stab you.
Those skeletons are extremely upset that you embarrassed that zombie in front of them.
All his buds.
Did you roll the 2d6, Andy? I didn't see it if you did.
He did not.
Nobody makes fun of Toby except for us.
Oh no. He's
He-
hard,
he-
dumbass.
He also went BRB.
Oh, then I will. Jeez, this one's like 8. All right. After that is Corley, who says, "Can't do anything against undead."
With the pommel.
And she will move to here and attempt to swing at the Zambo, and miss. Actually, what that does is it. Oh shit! They are zombies. That will actually hit. So you see a bunch of the ice fall off the zombie, or get shattered off the zombie as Corley slams her sword into the side of it. And then that one will move through. And he doesn't have anywhere to go. He's gonna go to there. It's a zombie. Calm down. It's a zombie.
It's
They
okay.
can move or attack.
I'm
He will
reserving.
hit you next turn.
You fucker.
Tertia, it's your turn. Would you like to hit Delian?
Don't do this. I know I was gone for just a single week. Come on.
You know what?
Fuck off.
I'll hit this one.
Okay. I don't not want to hit him. Oh, jeez. That's pretty good. Is that a crit for you?
No.
Okay. So that is a bladed scarf against a Zambo. That is 6 slashing damage. Or sorry, not against a zombie, against a skeleton.
Yep.
Okay, so it'll only take one of those damages.
That's fine, because now you won't get tripped.
Oh, sounds good. All right. So here's the thing. Actually, you have tripped him into oblivion. You basically wrap your scarf around its legs, and the blade kind of digs into the bone, and you pull off both of the legs, and the rest of it just crumbles into this pile of ice and bone. That particular zombie is deadified.
Oh, well then I switch my weapon.
Okay, sounds great. Dandarin, you have zombies aplenty. You have skeletons to pick from. The world's your
Which one
oyster.
looks the most damaged?
The most damaged
Delian.
one is this skeleton right here. They all have a lot of damage coming, except for this guy.
Right.
But the most damaged one is the one that's farthest away from you. The other two skeletons have not
But
been
it won't-
hit, and this zombie.
This one's threatening Delian, so I'll put
actually,
up my
actually,
Bardish.
wait. Sorry, that's wrong. The most damaged one is this zombie right here,
Okay.
because that's the one that Coraline just slammed into.
It'll be fine. I'll target the one I'm targeting. I'll put up my Bardish and just pull out my shield.
Okay.
And I'm going to give him a papow. This is...
Going to give him a solid rogering.
These are... So I'm rolling the Warhammer, but I'm giving it minuses because it's not magical.
No, that
Because
makes
it's the
sense.
same otherwise.
Yeah. And this is on the skeleton right here?
Yeah.
That,
Well, it's this one.
sorry,
If you hold X. There you
Sorry, I'm doing the right click to target thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the right click to target.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you slam it for 6 damage. It's a good strong shield bash. Yeah. That, I believe that was your move in your standard. Did you have anything else you wanted to do?
I have the weapon rack backpack, so
Mm-hmm.
I can actually. It is not a back standard, but I'm gonna stay where I am anyway.
Okay, sounds good.
Delian, back up.
Yeah, with where you guys are, 5-foot steps aren't really like
Yeah.
thing you can do.
Walk into the statue. Walk into my friend.
Well, no, I meant because you're on the ice. Movement is doubled on the ice.
Oh, that also.
So 5-foot steps aren't a thing here. Zarakt, things are looking great for you specifically, due to
I'm doing good.
current events.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing good. Things are doing good.
Yeah.
Everybody's good. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna shoot this guy with a huge penalty. I'm gonna
Go ahead and take that shot.
Reload and then take
Hit
in minus
Lumia.
Yeah, it looks like a zombie wearing like power armor made of ice.
taking -4 to my +6, so I'm really rolling just like that.
Here's the thing: you hit him. It's a zombie.
Yeah.
How much damage?
There. 2 damage.
2 damage. He is still
Wow.
up.
I know, shocker.
All right.
Contributing here.
After, did you want to do anything else with your move?
I reloaded to my move action so that I could shoot.
Okay, gotcha. After that is Forsidna. Forsidna will attempt to cut the zombie and will succeed at doing so. Oh no, wait. She will. This has only been hit once. She will not succeed at doing so. Basically, what she does is she slams the sword into the ice and chips away at it. But she doesn't manage to actually cut into the zombie itself. And after that is going to be Delian.
Boy howdy, I'm gonna attack. I think this here zombie.
That there zombie?
Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm gonna do one of them things. I'm gonna try using this here skill sheet, see if it works. If not, I'll
Okay.
do it the old standard way. It looks good to me.
All right. We have a slashing attack at the zombie. The 8 is going to be a miss, though.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. And after that, did you have anything else you wanted to do?
I can't do
You-
anything else.
You can't 5-foot step, but you can always try to make an acrobatics check to move.
I would love to maybe in lieu of that panic and grapple here.
Okay, so
If that's a thing.
that's something that you can do. You can like pop your hook shot and shoot over there and move over there. If you do that though, you're leaving the square without an acrobatics check, and you'll get 2 attacks of opportunity on you.
Yep.
Okay, that Delian rolls. He like slashes out with his knife. He then panic fires his hook shot to try to get away, and the skeleton and the zombie will both attempt to slash at you. The skeleton does not do it. The zombie, getting to roll the first attack for any zombie, also does not do it. And you can be over there.
Yes.
You basically latched on to the face of that dragon and are either above or below it. Your choice.
Okay. I'll be below it.
All right. Sharut, Deline has opened a space up for you. Come on, get in there.
Has he now? That's so kind of him. In fact, super, super kind of him. I think I'll back away.
Sharut, come and hold the line.
I think I'll back away to make sure he's able
It's
to
your
get-
turn in the front line.
to take that space. A quick question.
Yeah.
Did my first bolt, the last one I fired, did it feel like it did any damage whatsoever?
The last one that you fired with the flashbang did damage because of the flashbang.
And the one without did not.
Didn't do anything.
Okay. Sharut is going to shoot at this guy. And he still doesn't know.
Yeah.
That they're
A
immune.
zombie plus skeleton fight is only a real asshole of a DM would do this because there's 2 different damage reductions you have to deal with.
What kind of a jerk would do that?
Yeah. Who gave you that shield?
Well, he knows that the first shot didn't do anything, so he's not going to bother. He's going to take a 5-foot step back. He's going to apply a special poison because he still doesn't know that they're resistant. And he is going to fire a single shot at this zombie. Right
Okay.
there.
So you're shooting a poisoned flashbang shot?
That is correct.
Okay. Take the shot.
And he is within point blank range, correct?
He is indeed. And you said Sharut doesn't have knowledge religion?
He does not.
Take your shot.
Otherwise, he'd be able to figure this out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he does not.
I'm super excited. Go ahead, take a shot. Oh my god. And then you crit. So here's the thing. That will confirm the crit. So the damage is doubled. You actually managed to hurt it. And more importantly, you didn't just manage to hurt it. That one is very damaged. So it dies. That should not have happened.
The impossible.
I feel like
It was the absolutely impossible shot because, like, you did piercing and bludgeoning damage, and it takes less damage from both of those.
I
feel
love
like
the idea that Sharut comes out of this still not knowing a goddamn thing. He's
Yeah.
like, this was successful.
He's
Yes.
like, my flashbangs are highly effective. Yes.
I feel like
Just-
the bolt just lodged itself into the gash that Dandrin made.
Sure.
Obviously, what happened is the poison was extremely effective.
I'm getting better at brewing my poisons.
All right.
This is how I win.
The skeleton on Eric will make the old double attack. So, Eric, it will make its first attack with a sword, and that will do nothing. It will then reach out with a hand crusted with this sort of steaming, iced over hoarfrosty claw, and it just kind of tries to scrape it across your face as you're hiding your face behind your shield. Does a 9 hit your touch AC?
I'll bat its head away. Stop that. Stop
Would
that.
you like for it to hit your? It's fine. I'll go to Lumio. Lumio, it's your turn. Last thing I have from Andy is Andy saying that he would be right back. So I think what Lumio is going to do is concentrate on the totem, and that's it.
Mhm.
He's just going to concentrate on the totem for right now. And then he's going to end his turn. And at the end of his turn, this guy, and this guy are all going to catch on fire. So these corpses are now more corpse. This one is going to take, I believe this one was 7 damage, and this one is, I believe that one was 5. No, that one was also 7. So both of these take 7 points of fire damage. That is not 6 plus 17. That's, there we go. The zombie to your north, Dandrin, all of the ice that was armoring it just kind of sloughs off and just puddles in the ground and begins to freeze on the ground now. Yeah, it's not enough to kill either of these things, but they do take a hefty bit of damage. And after that, it is going to be that skeleton's turn, and he has 2 targets.
Someone gets a 3. Hits till the end.
He hits
Yeah, I
Delia.
don't know. Somehow.
He's gonna roll against Dandrin. That is a threat to crit. Dandrin, 16 doesn't crit you,
Well,
but
he does hit me.
he will hit you for 6, and he will then swipe at you with his Hoarfrost claw.
My God, he hit me twice
He
and threatened to crit again.
so from that one, Dandrin, you take 8 points of cold damage.
Ouch.
As he sort of stabs into you, and then using that leverage, just reaches up and sort of doesn't even really claw at you. He just kind of drags the hand across your face, and you feel like frostbite just kind of
Ow.
on your face.
Make a will check.
Oh.
And
Oh, that kind.
the Zambi, well, he is star for choice, so I'm gonna go 1d3, starting at Dandrin, going back to Corley. That's gonna go for Sidna. Whew. Wow, that is a hefty hit as he just latches on and just takes a big chunk out of her shoulder. And then Corley will potentially do it in. She kills the thingy. As it's biting into Forsidna, you hear the sort of, "Hey, get off of her!" And then the the longsword just comes down and slices off the zombie's arms, and then she kind of kicks it back. The zombie stops moving. Tertia, it is your turn.
It is my turn. I am now using the chakram. Is this wall still here?
Oh, sorry, no. That wall is no longer there because Lumio stopped concentrating.
Okay. I'm going to take a 5-foot step back, and you're going to make an attack of opportunity.
From the skeleton?
Yes.
All right. It will miss.
It will miss. I'm going to do push shot.
The old push shot. A 15 will hit it.
Great.
And that's 5 damage. And a bull rush. The damage doesn't do any damage. The bull rush will push it back.
Yep. I'm going to try and push it that way.
Okay. Yeah. You definitely beat it CMD, so you push it back.
Great.
All right. Anything else?
I'll switch back to the scarf.
Okay. And after that is going to be Dandarin.
I'm gonna target this one.
Is that fun?
That one.
It's wearing pants. If you have anything else you'd like to do.
I know what
My
I
pants
wanna
are-
do.
Okay.
Can you take the stuff out of the dryer?
I miss.
Yeah.
And I'm being assaulted by my family. Hold on.
Assaulted.
He takes
Can't believe they insulted him like that.
6 points of psychic damage.
Yeah. That
Like
makes
real
sense.
talk, it was my wife, cat, and son at the same time.
Hey,
Yeah, I
hey, 6
heard.
points of psychic
I
damage.
heard wife asking for laundry things, child saying things, and a light. It was just everything, and you going like, and now I shield bash, go away. After that, Zarakt.
Yes.
From where you are, you can see one that just got pushed back through the door. You can also see the one that's still kind of standing in between Dandarin and Tercia.
Phenomenal. I reload and I shoot the one standing in the door.
Okay, sounds good.
Assume he has cover. It may not matter.
He does have cover, but it does not matter. You still hit him. However, you hit the skeleton for 1 point of piercing damage.
Uh-huh.
It's
very effective.
yeah.
Yes.
You get the cleanest, just most like harmonic, almost melodious sound as your bolt just pings off a bone into nowhere. And after that, it will be for Sidna, who goes, nah. And then Dillian, it's your turn. You have hook shotted to safety.
Do I have knowledge religion?
I hook shot to danger.
Yeah, do you have knowledge religion?
I don't.
All right, you could probably take these guys.
I think there might be a difference between knowledge religion and common sense.
Look, you got to feel good about yourself and your own abilities.
I do. That's why I retreated.
Oh, okay. So you're feeling realistic, not hopeful.
No, I just got stabbed by like a number of things that walked by all of my friends.
It was two things, and they had nowhere else to go.
And then one certainly tried. Nah. I think Dillian is feeling real bad, and he's just like, out for the count. He's just kind of like trying to bandage his wounds.
That's fair. All right, Sharut, it's your turn.
A pew. Yes, that one. Just one. And we will apply a poison.
All right. Give me your apew against him.
But Sharut doesn't know any better. He misses.
Oh my god, he missed. It's real funny because
I just rolled a 20.
no, because the damage would have been enough to take him out. All right, this guy is gonna blame Dandarin for all of his problems and step forward and stab out with his big claw. Oh, sorry, with his broken sword.
Same thing.
Dandarin, you do not take that damage. However, they are able to 5-foot step on this terrain, even though you guys are not. Will then do its frosty claw on you. Does a 21 hit your touch AC? The DM asks rhetorically before saying, take 8 points of cold damage.
Who?
Dandarin takes that.
Mm.
We'll do a because I know he's dealing with the family assault. Lumio, it's your turn. You saw a brief flare as all the things that walked through your wall lit on fire in a very weird 7-second delay afterwards.
It's what I do. I don't know why I do it, but I'd like to do it again.
Okay. I had you while you were gone. I had you just maintain the
Concentration.
Totem. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening in.
Okay, cool.
I was
Maintained halt.
disposed of at the moment. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is
What totem is up, by the way?
It's the one where at the end of Lumio's turn, everybody gets a hit point,
yeah,
temporary hit point.
which is not one that I normally do. I'm going to I'm just gonna make it fire again, which is just gonna change the type and do the it's the shocking blast, right? Static blast is the one with
Okay. So you make it into fire. Go ahead and give me a D100 roll to see if you activate your wild magic.
Oh.
So this is energy shifts, right?
Yeah.
You actually managed to not activate your wild magic. So
By that much.
yeah, you had a changing it to fire adds 50. So you had a 60. You missed that. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
I don't.
Which
I typed too quick. Where did that?
That's a different system. We don't use percentile for attack here.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
yeah, are you just shooting it as a ray, or are you making the energy sphere?
I'll just shoot it as a ray.
Okay, then go ahead and make me a touch attack against the skeleton.
How about that?
All right, even with the in melee penalty, that's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
There we go.
Wow. You crispify that skeleton, and he goes down in a pile of bones and ash.
All right, and I'm gonna take one step this way.
Okay, so like I was saying before,
Leaving that.
like that costs you 10 feet of movement. It uses your whole. You can't 5-foot step here, because it's ice.
Don't have any enemies next to me, so does that?
So you use, if you're still maintaining your totem, you're spending your move action to maintain the totem, or do you have like something that gives you free concentration?
Yeah, I guess I can do that.
I mean, it's up to you. Like if you want to drop the totem, I just need it.
I don't see this guy lasting another turn. But yeah, I'll leave it up. I'll stay still
Okay,
because it helps me as much as anybody else.
cool.
Anyway,
after
we should be up to 3.
That is going to be Corley. And she'll move back to help out for Sidna. And then Tercia, it's you.
Well, I'm gonna try and trip him
That's cocked.
unless I killed it.
This one actually hasn't been hit yet. And you're still doing slashing damage, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you barely hit it, but you definitely do get to make the trip attempt if you would like. And he is definitely prone. He's really, really, really prone. With a 25, yeah, you beat a CMD of like 15. All right, and Dandarin, it's your turn. You have a prone skeleton on the ground right in front. He has been knocked back into the room. He came through. He got tripped. This is the first guy that you were starting to fight, and he is just moving around, but not really accomplishing much.
Well, how do you like another one?
You know what? I don't mind it. Okay. Are you doing anything else?
Nope.
All right. Zaract, there is a prone skeleton that you can probably not even really see with this statue in the middle.
Nope. Zarax is gonna reload and then move forward.
Okay, sounds good. For Sidna and Corley will begin binding his wounds. Delian said he's hanging out. Are you gonna re-enter combat?
No.
All right.
No, he's done.
Sharut, it's up to you.
The Sharut. Oh gosh. Feel so much pressure. A pew.
Okay.
And this will be poison, not that it matters.
I mean, I think you would notice someone who doesn't have any flesh or bone or organs.
It's more that he doesn't have the knowledge to know.
He hasn't studied or encountered undead.
So like me as a player, I know. Sharut has no fucking idea. It's like magic items. I know. Sharut has no fucking idea.
The arrow kind of just pings off the ground next to him. It's a real hard target when you have people in the way and he's prone.
I do have sniper.
I know.
Okay.
But if you're prone, you get a bonus to AC versus ranged.
Okay.
So he's prone. You get that same penalty to AC versus melee attacks, but against ranged attacks, you're harder to hit. It will stand up, thus provoking from Dandarin and from Tyr.
I am So precision damage doesn't happen here.
How about 3 ones in a row?
Delightful.
That sounds
Eric, have
impossible.
you considered putting your computer in the microwave?
That's real good. So Tercia, you do manage to hit it. You said the precision damage doesn't matter here.
It doesn't happen.
Okay,
So I'm not flanking.
Then you don't do any damage to it. And Lumio. Sorry. Wait a second. It will swipe out at one of you. It will swipe out at Dandarin. Dandarin.
You feel its gentle caress.
Yeah. It stabs its broken sword into your shield, and it makes the slightest nick in your shield. Super slight, but you know it's there, and you'll always know it was there.
I'm gonna fix it immediately.
On my next turn, I spend my turn fixing the shield. Lumio, your turn.
All right, I'm just gonna do a regular attack on him.
Sounds great. Please roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy!
Please roll a D100 for me. 39. 39, I believe we've had before. The effect fails, but the action is not lost. Spell points or spell slots spent are lost. So it just doesn't trigger. Womp womp.
I go to flip it off and realize I don't have a middle finger.
Design flaw.
Give me 3, bro. All right. Tercia, it's your turn again.
Yeah, I have to switch my weapon. I'll make an attack of opportunity for ranged attack in melee.
Oh, the chakram?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that might crit. That doesn't crit. 5 points of damage. It stabs at you with the short sword as you throw the chakram directly into its face.
Yep.
You will hit. That's good damage. Are you doing the snipey thing with the extra die or no?
Nope, I just forgot to add a point blank shot.
Okay, so it's actually 8 damage?
No, I added it this time. I forgot last time.
Okay, got you.
And then I push him. Maybe.
Wait,
no, I don't.
That actually will not push him. But he will take some of the damage. But he doesn't move anywhere. And then it bounces directly off of his dome and right back to your hand really fast.
Which I still catch.
Dandarin, it's your turn.
All right. Now let's see here. Can I go for 4? Oh,
And then he rolls an almost crit. And that's 8 damage.
yes. Bottom.
Yeah, you do a massive slam with the tower shield. It looks like it's starting to crumble. It is not long for this world. Zorak, it's your turn. You can see it now. It's standing again.
Phenomenal. I'll take another shot after reloading.
Alrighty.
Phenomena.
You reloaded before when you moved up.
What's that?
You reloaded before when you moved up.
I
So you then shoot. You shoot, then reload.
shoot
Yeah.
then reload. Same, but different.
That will hit for no damage.
Guys, I'm contributing.
There are just arrows falling. Bolts just
no.
falling to the floor after they hit.
Delian,
Yeah.
we all want you to know that we care about you in your turn and your time of need. And we'll be here for you after the fight.
Sure, sounds good.
All right, Sharut, your turn.
Alrighty. We are going to fire.
Uh-huh.
And fun fact, guys, I just realized I've been playing my character wrong.
You're not actually a medic at all.
So no, it's more that when I
Not a
take 2
goblin.
shots, right? I didn't realize that it added a +1 to damage rolls, so I should be doing more when I take 2 shots. I've just been subtracting. Silly Noah, essentially.
Roll your dice.
Rolling my die. Does a 20 hit?
Noah, tell me a story.
You want me to tell you a story?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. This is a skeleton, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, cool. So I think it hits. So Sharut kind of like closes one eye and points at the skeleton's rib cage, and he lets a bolt loose, and it pierces, or it goes through the rib cage and sticks to back of a rib, so like inside of his rib cage, and then the bolt doesn't do anything. It just lodges itself into the bone, right?
Okay.
But then you hear a pop, and it kind of just like shocks the skeleton to the right, and it just crumbles.
So you just blew out the inside of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently those crossbow bolts super effective. I don't know what to tell you.
This rack's just been weakening that particular spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's what it is. That's the ribs Zorak kept hitting, and without Zorak's continued contribution to this fight,
I don't know what the rest of you would have done, frankly.
So I think that's a good place to take a break. So let's cut it for 15, and we can then go and we'll be back here in a minute.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back after these messages.
We don't have any. Just don't. We don't know. We'll just be back.
Kind of marketing to you.
Yeah, I was chewing at the time, but I was thinking it.
All right, and we're back.
Ugh.
You might have heard some laughter. We were questioning Mike's existence. It sadly does still exist.
It's still around.
What are you gonna do?
He is. It's sort of like a barnacle person. Like he's clinging to the boat, and we love him.
Or tolerate, or forgot he exists, or
We can't get him off the boat.
we can't
That's
get
what
him.
it was.
We can't
That's
get him
it.
off the boat. All right. So, I guess now's the time for me to delete that effect. All right. Everybody is up. It's been a nice 6 rounds of combat. It is very, very cold. What would you all like to do?
I'm going to maintain concentration on my totem until someone
I'm
has
going-
shut that door.
Oh,
I
but
am going
before
to
you
go
do-
inside and see what I can do.
And Zorak is gonna shut the
If
door.
I can figure out where in here this is the source of this unusual cold.
Zorak
It's a
is
large-
gonna do that thing she does.
There's a
Uh,
large box
Name in the
that says
shit.
AC on it.
Well, okay.
Don't touch it. Dad's gonna
so,
get mad.
Dandrin, what you see is a rune in the ground. It looks like a runic circle. It is clearly a couple inches deep in the ice. And it is just radiating cold. Like basically every time the light pulses, you can actually feel the temperature lower a little. Zorak, you are doing what now?
Zorak is walking in and she's examining the ruins, and
Yeah.
this is obviously the result of planner influence here, but she's excited and interested in checking shit out.
Yeah, give me some knowledge arcana, and knowledge planes also works here if you do that.
I will prefer the planes knowledge.
Okay. So with a 19, you know that this is definitely pulling, channeling, maybe just enhancing the Resian field here. It does kind of have hints of planar magic, but you think it's more that it's manipulating what's nearby than it is actually drawing from Resia itself.
She'll take notes,
Okay.
kind of sketch it out, and try and figure out what's going on.
Sounds good. Can you give me a knowledge arcana or spellcraft as you're sort of studying it? Yeah. So this is as you're looking at this and you're trying to just kind of decipher what the runes mean and you know what this could all be. You're getting a sense that this is a protective ward used in a very offensive fashion. Essentially, this is almost like a glyph of warding, but it's a glyph of warding against heat.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
This thing is pushing against heat so strongly that it's creating almost unearthly, like supernatural areas of cold.
How do we break it?
Well, it's inscribed in the flora. In order to disrupt it, you would need to do significant damage to the structure.
And with your Arcana check, that might do. Like, yes, if you were to, like, I'm just gonna take a hammer to all of this, that would do it. It could have the good effect of we no longer are in a very cold place. It could have the bad effect of we are no longer in a very cold place, and this place needs to be very cold. It's a little hard to tell why this is here, but you know what it's doing, and it is just actively shunting away cold in a very large area.
Like when if Dandrin goes and to like lift a weapon, she'll put an arm out and like hand on his arm and be like, "No, stop," and then she'll point to the walls, and then
Yes,
more
they're mortared
insistently,
with ice. Do you think it's
Yes.
going to instantaneously thaw?
Do you want to risk it?
Ah,
Excellent. Come check out this statue. We'll close the door. Everything will be fine.
No, no.
Well,
and then I bar the door.
while
We
you
locked
guys
the door.
are all making the good decision to leave Tertia where she is, so yeah, you shut the door, and you can feel the temperature where you are start to slowly creep back up. It's not fast. It is happening extremely slowly, but the room is no longer violently cold. So, what are you all doing?
Zorak drags Dandrin over to the Remora's head to see what he can figure out. Because apparently he can look at things and figure out what magic they do.
Some things, but
Sharut
Right,
is
what is
gonna
it?
wander into this room and look around.
it's that one, right?
Yep, that's the one. It's a Remora's head. You haven't seen the Remora's head in here anywhere else. A lot of these are not like it's not that they were made on a factory, so it's not like one griffin head is the same as the other griffin head, but you can tell like they're very similar. When you get to sort of the ones that have 3 coming out of it and it's a chimera, they're pretty similar. This is the only one like this that you've seen in this.
Oh, well, let me see if we can settle what we're dealing with.
Wrong skill. Give me an architecture and
Engineering?
engineering.
Okay.
You don't know. Like Zaractus told you
Okay.
that this thing is supposed to propel cold energy, and you don't know how or why or what would trigger it.
Dandrin, does it come off the wall?
I don't know, maybe.
Eventually.
If we hit it enough.
Like, does
I
it
mean,
look
yes,
like-
I could get it off of the wall.
does it seem
You're
like
asking me how it's mounted. Is it supposed to be transportable easily? I don't know, and I'm not. If I took the time, I could do it, but I can't be bothered, honestly. To Remora's head, it's magic. I'm tired of cold.
Andrin, can you heal me? The cold is
Sure.
done terrible.
Sure. I'll heal you. The nat what? No,
That is a nat 1.
no. I
So
will.
the
Can I heal?
the ability to use a skill to heal a Warforged can only happen once a day. After that, they
Okay.
need to use magic. So
Okay.
you would need good berries or cure light wounds potions or something like that.
I'll heal you tomorrow.
Cool.
You can't. I could work you, but your material is a living construct. It needs time to settle in. If I tried to work it too much, I could break something irreparably. But don't worry, I'll fix you up. Otherwise, you can have a good berry. Magic healing should still suffuse the organic-ish parts of you, wood and whatnot. Speaking of which, I'm going to get a good berry.
Mhm.
I'm here for a berry, please.
All right. So while Dendron's getting some good berries for him and Lumio, Sharut, Delian, Tertia, what are the 3 of you doing?
I'm gonna hobble over to Sharut and being like, "Hey, so I know you say that if somebody's hurt, you to say something. I just got stabbed by what I'm assuming might be an ancestor of somebody, and it'd be cool if I could have like some of your cool goop juice to just kind of like take this edge off, cause I don't feel too great."
Sharut looks at him while he's looking through the room and hands him a mushroom and says,
Do this now.
and he'll do a perception check around the room while he's chewing the mushroom.
Yeah. So Lumio, basically what you would be able to do from the good berries is it's magical healing. It's not magical repairing. So it'll work on you. It'll work at half efficiency. So you will be able to get it 6 hit points back, basically, if you max out.
Okay, so I just rolled a 6. That should be a 3 then, and then that 7 should also be a 3.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Cool.
We're down to 5 good berries.
All right. And Sharut, you were doing a perception check. There doesn't seem to be much of interest in this room. Like it looks like somebody ransacked the office, and there's like shattered inkwells and the things that they probably used to write, like some iced over quills and stuff like that. But you're not necessarily finding anything that tells you like what this is or what it was or who did this or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, Sharut kind of just like goes through the drawers real quick
Mhm.
because he's more focused on
Yeah.
Dillian.
Yeah, there's not
And
even
he-
there's not even much in the drawers at this point.
He might spend, I would say, maybe just a second too long because he's distracted. Um, so Dillian's mouth feels a little numb by the time he gets back to him.
Okay.
And he looks at, or he says to Dillian, "Spit," as he starts looking at the wound and holds out his hand to have him spit into it.
Spit directly
Thanks.
into my hand so that I can rub this severe wound.
Disgusting, but thanks for it.
Thank you for that.
So go ahead and give us the heal check for you healing Dillian.
Thank you for that very much.
Yeah.
You heal. I believe that is 12 points.
Yeah. Look at that. It's like you're basically back up to full.
It's
Or over it.
no. There's no way I'm over right now.
He's nowhere. No, I hit him for like 16.
Yeah.
And
Here's
the
some rough
cold
stuff.
damage. So,
Oh, that's right, the cold damage. I forgot about the damage.
yeah. All right. Anybody that
Thanks.
Anybody that did get healed, you're healed now. You're good to go. We continue to have a 0 foot. We're going to roll begin combat. It's her turn. End combat? Yes. 0 foot thing is still there. That's really weird. Never mind. There it shall stay.
We've discovered a runic circle.
A runic circle. So where is everyone else going?
And clear. I didn't mean to open that.
Yeah. You.
I am the guy who would stand here.
You move up to that door.
Oh,
and
God.
When you open it, you see a number of iced over bodies on the floor. They all look like they are in a good amount of pain. They all look like they are basically perfectly preserved in various states of ice. Like different poses, like some are reaching for the door, some are just sprawled out. From where you are, you can see that there's at least 8.
And are these Remeres heads over here?
Yeah, so down at the end, just kind of at the edge of your vision, you can actually make out that there's a couple of Remorez heads down there.
Well, Zarekt, it looks like there might be something of value on the other side, but it's guarded by 2 of those heads of Remores. Which means it's incredibly likely that we'll die if we try and, get
Well.
to it.
Zarekt will see.
But if we had the time, I'd be able to cheat it. But
You say that like we don't have the time.
we're trying to save at least a couple of people who are in here ahead of us.
That's fair.
So I'd rather, once we have them secured, then we can come back and I can take some time and essentially hack a hole over here. If I do, we just get this statue out of the way, I hack over. Then we appear behind the Remores heads, as it were. But so we'll mark this room to come back, I think.
Is that's a it's a significant range. That should cover. Zarek's got 60 feet on detect magic. Is she able to hit the edge of that room, into that room?
With 60 feet, I believe so. Let me check real quick.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Just enough. Yes, you are able to detect that there is an emanation coming from both Remorez head, but also from the thing in the middle. The thing in the middle looks to be sort of an altar that kind of has like a you see sort of it's not producing any light, but there's kind of a little shimmering field of energy, and you can just sort of barely make out in the shimmering field of energy some sort of maybe a scroll.
Edrin, I realize that this is we do have larger goals here. Sharut, what are your thoughts? And she's gonna like step in so he can take a look and see what it is to see if we hazard it now.
It's some kind of scroll, eh?
Clearly important enough to guard.
There's lots of bodies on the floor here, right?
There's lots of bodies on the floor.
And there
you
is-
see 8 of them.
There's that single scroll at the far end of the room.
Uh-huh.
Would be trap, but if trapped, likely of importance. We'll need help from Dillian.
Tertia, can you give me a perception check, please?
Sure.
Strictly average. Well, actually good enough. The person that you are almost standing standing next to, this one right here, is a fairly bulky orc male that you recognize as Loak de Thrashk. This is like not necessarily the expedition leader, but he was one of the House Thrashk members stationed in New Seer with Geralt, who sort of like gathered a bunch of the laborers to come here.
Great. Well, at least we know they came through here. I'm gonna grab his ID.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get his identifying paper.
Does that mean, are any of these other ones fresher?
So it's really hard to tell. These things are iced over like they have been standing. Like, have you ever seen one of those things where it's like a tree that's standing and there was a blizzard recently? And
Yeah,
all
so
the
it's bent
ice,
over and touching the ground and pinned.
yeah, and like all the ice has come from one direction. It is very clear that
Mhm.
all the ice has come from this way and hit these. Basically just because of Tertia's proximity to this one and the way that he's kind of like aimed towards the wall, his face didn't get quite as covered. She's able to tell that this guy is someone that she recognizes. By the way, where is? Oh, there he is. Delian, Lumio.
Yep.
As everybody else is venturing towards their doom, what the two of you like to do?
I'm gonna. I'll stay by the door.
Okay.
I am too fragile at the moment to think anything in that room is worth it.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. All right. So the two of you are staying by the door. The other four, much braver comedians.
Can I do a heal check on the bodies in the room?
Sure.
They're dead.
We can group them. We can group them
Yeah,
into.
I know that.
We
I
can
wanna
group them
know
into this
how.
group and this group. So you can do like you can basically walk up here and do
Yeah.
it if you want.
Uh,
So
I
first,
want to know.
first heal
yeah.
check.
I want to know how they died.
Yeah.
I know they're dead. That so much is easy, but how did they die? Seems like important information because I think the room might be trapped.
These people, from what you can tell, all died of cold damage. So not necessarily exposure to cold, but frosty, wintry death blast aimed at.
Aimed at them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Shrewd
think
is
of it.
going
Think of
to-
it. Things like cone of cold, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah, yeah,
a lightning bolt, but made of cold.
Shrewd's gonna move here and just check this body.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a heal check. Seems to be pretty much the same thing. Like there's so much ice on these things. Like these bodies that are still standing are sort of like moving towards the door that you came through, but they have to be covered in a good 50, 60, 70 pounds of ice.
From the bodies that I've examined,
Yeah.
can I tell which direction the ice was applied?
This way.
Okay,
This
so
is-
it came from
This is all pretty.
It definitely came
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
the
Like-
remorse.
it came from here
Yeah.
to here. Okay.
It bloomed up from the ground. It did.
Yeah, like
Practice, like,
it's
then-
coming from the opposite end of the hall.
Okay.
We know what
Just
this is. There's clearly a trap here. These people fell to it. The question is whether what
A
awaits
sacrifice will inform us of what to do. Like I said, we can try breaking in down here, basically trying to bypass where trap might go off, but it may not work still. Either way, I say that we come back here later, once we've tried to find others, since we know that the expedition is here and they've been losing members.
Sharut looks to Dandarin
How long take you to break through wall?
and Mo.
There's a reason I'm saying that we need to wait. We're gonna go try and find and save lives first, and then come back here. I don't want to waste the John Eric, based on breaking down all the stuff I've broken down and my knowledge of how I break things. But how long, with appropriate tools, do I think it would take me to get through this wall, since I can see how thick it is?
Your ability to get through the wall. Let's see. If it is not, so let's say it's a masonry wall. It would take you a couple of minutes. If it's hewn stone, it would take you about 10 times that.
Right.
Like you're able to get past a lot of hardness. The problem is the extreme amount of hit points that they have.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying I don't want to wait around for half an hour to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending what it is, if it's just masonry, only a couple of minutes. But if it's just hewn stone that they've laid down, about half an hour. So, just we keep moving.
Okay. So that's what Dandarin says.
That's
What
my
about the
vote.
rest of you in the room?
Nope. I agree. We have people to save, and or at least fates to determine, I should say. I'm not certain they are alive.
Frankly, based on the condition of others here, I'm, shall we say, less optimistic. And that's why I'm willing to default my vote to whatever Shrewd decides.
Fruit's gonna look at the scroll, and he's gonna weigh it in his mind, right? He's like, that is obviously pretty fucking important, and he wants it, but also lives are on the line.
Or it's a note that says, "Gotcha."
It's lasted here for a hot minute, so it can last while they go look for survivors.
Okay.
But we're coming back here before we leave, so Sharut's gonna reluctantly leave the room and say,
We revisit before leave. Yes?
Yes.
Direct will close the door.
All right. You close the door, head back into the hallway. There's still the doors that you can see on both sides of the hallway. Up ahead of you, you see two that are sort of side by side. On the right, to the left, there's some other ones.
Right.
And I'm not.
Do you want to stick up this way, or do we want to go back down, like Sharut originally said?
Yeah, I mean, we're already here.
All right, this door or next door?
I think we're doing this one since you're already there.
All right.
All right. Go ahead. So,
Direct takes a step back.
Moments.
so the two of you open it and go, "Ah," and jump back as you see barricades and ballista.
Yeah.
Tertia,
Ballista pointed at
Tertia the
door.
brave, Tertia the lacking of foresight. What you see is a platform that has multiple ballista of multiple sizes, along with basically the way that the ballista bolts are set up. It almost makes a barricade that would sort of surround the user. You can see that there's two basically like light ballista and then a medium ballista a little bit further in, right? You can't from where you are see what they're aiming at. They're clearly meant to shoot down because there's nothing like there's a stone ceiling here. But yeah.
Interesting. Because apparently everyone else is a coward. I'll go in first.
Okay.
Excuse you, I entered the room first.
Yeah.
You stepped away.
Because I saw a ballista pointed.
So this room that you're in is wow, that's weird. So this room that you're in is, think of it as a platform that is about 15 feet above the ground floor, right? It has all of these ballista stationed around. You don't see any doors out of this room that aren't on the platform. So you see a door that's like directly ahead of you, but that's it.
So this is the kill box in front of the throne room after the entrance foyer.
And then these are sort of half walls. They're only about they're chest high. You could take if somebody covers you in red jelly, you could take you could duck down behind them and get all your health back.
Yep.
Very, very video game style.
Whoever untucked that jelly spoon, you can tuck behind the wall and retuck the jelly spoon.
You can retuck your jelly spoons in this very room. Yes. And that's what you're seeing in here is that, yes, Dandarin's guess, summation, whatever is correct. This definitely looks like a place where you kill invaders that are trying to come in.
Wow.
I mean, I'll just keep walking if I don't see anybody or
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, sounds good.
Obviously, this didn't help anybody.
we'll motion the.
Yeah, so walking along, you're seeing that, again, the platform goes all the way over here where there's another door going to the other side. And then further on, it splits at this sort of cross, and there's to the left and to the right, there's more doors. And it goes up again.
More
to
doors, you
another-
say?
Goes up again to another T intersection, and to the left and to the right, there's more doors. The whole platform exists here, but there's no way to get, like Sharut told you that to the north, to this direction, is where this sort of throne room is. But for you with low light vision, who can kind of see past the platform, there's no way to actually see, like a way to get further north of whatever room is below you, except to be in that room.
Interesting.
We see anything from our vantage up here? If I look around, do I see any creatures maybe trying to hide down there?
Down there, So down there, you're not seeing any creatures. Actually, you can kind of like barely make it out. So down there, what you're seeing is if you picture there being like a ceiling to the first floor that is sort of made of a thin layer of glass, and that glass is kind of frosted over, so you can look through, but it's hard to get like too much in the way of details. But yeah, you can look down, and it almost looks like a lot of defensive positions. You're seeing a lot of corners to hide behind. You're seeing, some blood splatters where like things have clearly kind of happened. Right here, there's a little hole, and right here there's not. It looks like there's kind of some sort of stone pillar in this thing. But yeah, like it looks. Do you have like knowledge warfare or anything like that, or?
Just architecture and engineering.
Yeah, you can give me an architecture and engineering. Clearly a well-designed sort of maze-like kill box.
It's precisely what I thought it was. This is the kill box. Should the front entrance be invaded, this is the room that the invaders would be drawn to, where they'd be slaughtered from above, while the defenders below could use the maze structure to hide and conserve themselves from the enemy. Make sense? Didn't do them any good, though. It makes sense.
So yeah.
Shall we cross through to the other side?
We still have sections over here, unless we're done
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I don't know where you're clicking, Justin.
I was just suggesting that we have stuff over here to do.
Oh, gotcha.
Sure. I'll find that bastard who has my hammer.
Guys are not up here.
And they're probably laying an ambush somewhere.
All right. So you're trying those doors?
And I am ready to pull back once I open them.
Okay. You open
vegetation.
the door and see a staggering amount of vegetation. There's a lot of plants. You see a number of mushrooms. There's just a lot. It's basically choked the entire floor. There's vines growing on the walls. There's all kinds of vegetation here. It's without like proper checks, you don't see more. It's just, this is, for the temperature that it is and the amount that you see, a little weird. Typically you're from the Roarholds. When you get up to the top of the mountains, when you get to a place that's as cold as it is right now, you don't get much in terms of growth. Maybe
not without magical assistance.
Yeah, maybe a couple of really tall trees, but there's just a ton of stuff in here.
Zorak is here to figure out what the fuck it all is.
Yeah,
I'm a roll in knowledge nature.
sure. Give me knowledge nature.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. So you are noticing that you are seeing kind of smaller versions of those dust cap mushrooms, the very large ones that you saw by the lake. Mm-hmm. Those ones are staggeringly big. The dust caps that you saw by the lake are just 10, 12 feet tall, and the cap is another like 15 feet wide. These are more like about Delian or Sharut's height. You're seeing other plants that look like they couldn't really survive here. They don't belong here. But they're there. Like ferns that, while hardy and able to survive in sort of a temperate forest, shouldn't be able to survive in a tundra.
Without just blind to caution, Zorak, like it kind of starts creeping in, like taking samples.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to take a number of samples. There's give me a survival check here.
Probably nothing. So
kind of digging around and like taking samples. You're seeing things that look like, oh, this is a vine that leads to some sort of like fruiting vegetable or ripe vegetable. And if you dig in the dirt a little bit, you're able to actually find food. You're pulling up these sort of like purple and blue tubers. You're seeing vegetables along some of these. This is a garden that has gotten severely out of hand.
Do the planting beds detect as magical?
If you take some time to like concentrate on it, no.
Okay.
No.
Huh. Well, Zorak's gonna grab a little bit of everything and then walk back out. There's food in there, various roots and tubers, and Root, if you're interested in what your ancestors ate, I've collected some samples. You can examine them later.
Are there any herbs in here that I can use?
Give me a craft alchemy check.
Second.
And actually, Delian, can you give me a perception check as well? I forgot about that. Keen gnomish nose.
That keen, wonderful nose that he is known for.
Yeah, all gnomes that are known for.
Yeah.
Not this gnome.
Not this one. Lost it in the war.
Sharut, yes, there are definitely herbs that you hear. They are sort of sprinkled throughout. They're not gathered in any one place. This place looks like it is a very untamed sort of area. The only thing that was really preventing them from getting to the other side of the door is the fact that the door was shut. So there's definitely stuff that you could grab here if what you want is like herbs for alchemy. Delian, you are that powerful gnomish schnoz is managing to pick up a whiff of. Could that be an alchemy lab? It really smells like one. Like it's there. There's all of those scents that mark a person as an alchemist. Like, oh, they have like that little scent of sulfur that never quite goes away, and like all of these other things. Like you're wafting that here.
Okay. Well then, like, he'd probably find Sharut and go, "Hey, you want to know something really cool that I know that you may not know? There's an alchemy lab in there."
This is very good. Thank you, Dillian.
Yeah.
Would you mind assisting me with finding it?
I would absolutely not want to assist you finding it.
I'll assist you, Sharut.
At least point me in the direction.
It's in there.
Yeah, he doesn't have more than that.
On Sharut.
So before Dandarin gets too far,
Yeah.
Sharut walks over here and he gathers what he can from that area.
Sure. Dandarin, go ahead, Sharut.
And he also, I think he would also motion to, I'm trying to decide if he'd motion to Tercia or Zeract. Zeract is better with nature, but not great in a fight.
Sharut, you think any of these plants might be able to animate themselves? Perhaps living plants as a defense mechanism?
Sharut kind of waves him off as he's like digging through these plants and like stuffing them into a pocket. Says,
Should not care. Should here for ingredients. Ask Zeract.
Direct.
Yes,
You taking a closer look at some of these plants?
I suppose I can. Is there anything that drew your attention?
Yeah, more just I don't want any kind of surprises.
Jack's gonna take a slow walk.
All right, Zeract.
Andrew will follow slowly.
As you're moving, you see there's some light coming from this area, and the garden just kind of continues. This area looks to be basically there's kind of a like a, what would you call it? Like a railing? There's a railing coming from the wall that loops around this way and is just overgrown with vines. And you're seeing that there's something down there that's offering kind of a pulsing, glowing light. And then as you passed this area, Dandarin, you can see in here, it looks to be some sort of elevated walkway again. And from where you are, you can kind of make out on the far side, it looks like there's some kind of badly taken care of bookshelves and some to the left and in front of you, and to the right there looks to be some statues. So while the two of you are doing that, Lumio, Forsidna says, "You appear to be in bad shape. Do you have any healing potions?"
I suddenly remember that it might. Yeah, I do actually.
I have
I
an oil of repair. I would gladly trade with you if you would give me the healing potion. And like as she's talking, she keeps looking back to Corley, and Corley is like eyes locked on Forsidna, like, ask him.
The best that I have actually is a repair light potion. A few. I don't think that will suffice.
Well, it may fix my wound. It's my oil of repair that I was saving in case some creature managed to break my armor or my sword. You could use it upon yourself.
Indeed. I would gladly trade you. I have 3 of them. So if you would like to try one and see if it
I
benefits you.
I only have the one, but it is worth. It is the second circle, so assured to me by the Kenneth artificers.
Oh,
Like she's offering you an oil of repair moderate damage.
That's
In
fantastic.
exchange for whatever you'll give her.
Yeah.
Because she just got like fucked up.
Yeah, I'll pass her 2 of these repair light potions
Okay.
for that.
So she gives you one potion that heals 2d8 plus 3, and you give her 2 that
Nice.
heal 1d8 plus 1. And she
That sounds
will
fair.
take one of them and heal 4.
I have another one of those on my person should emergency arise for either of us.
If that happens, I will. If need be, I will purchase it from you.
If need arises, use before asking.
And she like kind of looks. She looks awkward when you say that, and she sort of looks down, and Corley just kind of puts a hand on her shoulder and pushes her a little bit, and Forsidna says, "Okay, I will use it if necessary."
Yeah. I point to Forsidna and show where it's concealed on my person, so that she could grab it if she needed to.
Well, thank you. We will.
You could just give it to her.
Well, it's good for him to have it in case we need to use it on him. It won't be as effective, but it will still be able to save his life if.
Indeed.
That makes sense.
And yeah, they both kind of nod to you, and Forsidna like mumbles a thanks, and they move back inside. So Delian and Lumio, the 2 of you are the only ones left in the hallway. The super dangerous, full of monsters hallway. Suddenly,
I don't know where suddenly.
oh my God, they're everywhere.
They're all dead. Corpses are spawning from the ground.
Yeah. Anyway, what are
They're
the
T-posing.
what are the 2 of you doing as everybody else is moving in?
I do not want to be in there for any reason whatsoever.
Okay.
Because that's just unknown quantities. There's obviously at least some magical preservation going on in there, and that could be triggered on a trap or anything like that. If it suddenly goes negative, it doesn't look like it's any warmer in there, so there's no reason for me to necessarily be there or keeping a lookout in the hall.
This is not the first alchemist lab I've robbed. It's never good in there.
And they always use such fragile bottles. Why such fragile bottles?
It keeps the crystal clear so that way they can just look at it. Alchemists are strange.
Alchemists mostly
That's
just like to
respectable.
watch liquids, is Delian's theory, apparently.
Yeah.
We both get a distrusting glance at Sharut, who's still probably smashing more and more
Like
plans
he's-
into a
he's
very
picking-
full pocket.
I'm fairly certain he could probably hear you. He's not that far away.
Oh, he's not saying it like loud.
Yeah.
All right.
It's still very cold in here.
I just like that Delian's like, I once went to rob an alchemist, and I watched him for an hour, and all he did was reach out, grab this crystal that had liquid in it, and he would just look at it. And sometimes he would shake it. And sometimes he would hold it up to the light. And that was it. That was his whole day.
I didn't rob that place. I quit that job.
I quit that job.
Sounds exhausting just thinking about it. Man.
So weird. All right. So, while Delian and Lumio are standing in the hallway, keeping guard, they're keeping guard in the hallway.
Yeah.
Zoract, you moved over to the railing, and you're looking down. And what you see looks to be some kind of like actually, from where you are, give me a knowledge planes roll.
I guess.
All right. And do you have just quick question? Do you have craft alchemy?
I do not have craft alchemy. No.
Okay. So what you see is some sort of like planar amplifier. It's kind of weird. Like you've been to gates before that have been, kept. They have been closed. And you have seen some of them that needed to be closed and monitored would occasionally have these sorts of things in them. And this might have been one of the things that was causing trouble at the time. This is amplifying something about Reese is planar effects. You don't know what it's amplifying, but it's like, because all the planes have multiple traits, right?
Mhm.
It's picked one of them and is just making that a lot. You're not
Zorak is,
incredibly colder than you were before, so it's hard to know what it is. But yeah,
Zorak is gonna she's gonna look at Dandarin and Shrewd and the others and say, "Well, I need to get closer." And then without she just hops the railing.
oh, you're really gonna do this to me? Okay, so
Yeah.
Zorak goes whoomp. Zorak. So it's a 15-foot drop to the floor below you.
Cool.
Do you
Acrobatics
have
check.
acrobatics? Give me an acrobatics check. All right, you are gonna take a
Awesome.
d6 of damage
Love it.
and end up prone on your ass down there.
Perfect.
All right, so you do that. Sharut, Zorak, I'm going to copy you real quick, and I'm going to switch you over. But I'm going to talk to the others and see if they're doing anything. Tertia,
Yeah, of course.
you're with sort of Lumio and Delian, who refused to come in, but the three of you are being kind of separated, I guess, from Sharut, Dandarin, and now Zorak, who have gone over the other side.
I immediately start looking for something that's edible.
There is food here. You basically just have to find it. You have to dig for it. It is, you know that the dust caps are edible because the other group that you were with was eating them. But Zorak was also like digging in this one over here and found some tubers. So you know that there's also root vegetables here. So finding food here, pretty easy. You can literally just like rip the mushrooms off the ground and start noshing on them if you want.
I mean, yeah, she does, because it's been a very long time since she had food.
Yeah, it's mushrooms. All right. So while Tertia is eating and Sharut and Dandarin see Zorak jump over the edge, Justin, I'm gonna move back over to the ground floor. No one will be able to see anything except for where their characters are. Please leave your characters there. Except Zorak. Where is Zorak?
Farewell.
Yeah.
Why have I been moved up the stairwell?
Because
You know what you did.
you guys all went up the stairs in that area, so just leave your characters there
Oh,
because
okay.
you're on the next floor up. But Zorak, you drop down right here, and you are in what looks to be some sort of lab in this area. You see that sort of pulsing amplifier there, along with the curtain of vines that's hanging from it. You also see over in this area,
Oh shit.
you see this mountain of kind of misshapen blue muscle, blue-gray fur with a droopy nose, huge ears, a jaw with these massive canine fangs. And you have seen an ice troll before. In fact, you've seen two. One you made dead and one you found dead. This one looks a little different from the two of those. It is, for one, got not clothing but accessories on. It has kind of a satchel across one shoulder that's hanging down near its right hip. It has a belt on. It has a headband. And from the headband are dangling a number of little lenses that it currently has one kind of in front of its eye, and you see it sort of tinkering in this sink right here, just ripping up some herbs and kind of like it's got this. It basically looks like a wagon wheel, or not a wagon wheel, a wagon axle that it's using as a pestle to just grind into the sink. And as you drop down and you slam to your butt, he looks at you and sniffs the air and goes, Inganta gunsanta betis conta hestakara. Do you speak giant?
I don't speak giant.
Okay. So
However-
what it does is it talks and then it continues to work.
Zorak, having recently tried this, breaks out the Sylvan and says, I didn't understand that. Do you speak Sylvan? Because the older did. So maybe they have a means of communicating with that.
And you see it shake its head and it goes, Erda hin kontango rataka. Do you speak goblin? It's just this deep, rumbly voice. Everything that he says is just here, talk, here, talk.
I don't speak Goblin. I'll try. This is unlikely to work, but she's gonna call out in common. Sharut, I think I might need you for the language, and then to the troll thing. She's gonna switch to Druidic and say, I suppose this might be a long shot, but any chance you understand this one?
And it shakes its head. It goes, Dirk, no. And then you see it turn away from you, and it picks up a tool over here, and then and the tool is basically like a spatula. It's like half spatula, half shovel, and it sort of scoops up what it was grinding, and then it moves over to this cauldron and starts dropping it in. And then it uses that tool, not the shovel, but the pestle to start sort of mixing the cauldron. And after it's mixed it a bit, it goes back over here, and it's puts down the shovel, and it gets out a pair of shears and starts clipping some trimmings from over here.
Got one left. She's gonna try orc.
Okay. What do you say?
She says, and this is incredibly frustrating. I wish we could communicate. This is clearly an area of some interest, and like she walks forward and starts to like kind of look over its shoulder at what he's doing.
Yeah, and its head whips around as you start to speak, and it goes, Orcish. This one knows him Orcish. And he walks over, and he basically, you see that he's got some sprigs with little leaves on it, and he starts ripping the leaves off and putting them into the cauldron. And then as the leaves go into the cauldron, he then takes the sprigs that are left, like the stem, and just eats them.
Well, good. I'm a little surprised that the language of the Druids of the Reach is known here, but Orcish is fabulous language.
Orking not reach, orking marches, orking mountains. Many know orking in tunnel, long ago.
I suppose they've moved on since then. The orcs that I know are fierce defenders of the wilds, and I suppose tangentially why I'm here. Is this your doing? And she'll gesture at like the massive vines and planter doing behind her.
And it shakes its head and it goes, no making, harvesting, only eyes harvest. So to those upstairs, I will jump back up to the second floor real quick.
I was about to say, if Dandarin sees she's okay, Dandarin's gonna pull out his rope, tie it, and just like slide down.
So yeah, so what you saw was Zorak basically went over here, like jumped down, and then walked out from where you couldn't see her anymore, and then you started hearing her talk.
Okay.
And like
So
you can't see her down here because basically what this is a hole into another floor.
So Dandarin's going to tie. So while this was happening, Dandarin has survival.
Yeah.
He's gonna basically make a rope ladder, a knotted rope with one of his lengths of rope, hook it up here, and then kind of climb down.
Sure, give me a climb check.
And it's a knotted rope, so it should be super easy.
It is super easy, but it's still a roll. Like,
Is that a good enough roll for that?
yeah, a knotted rope is like DC 5. But I mean, hey, it was possible. So yeah, you go down, and I will move you down here in a second. Sharut, you can kind of hear this too. Like again, you hear Zorak go like, do you speak Goblin? In Goblin. And then something says, like, do you communicate in the language of Giant? In Giant. And it's just this, like, deep basso voice. To the rest of you who are over here, Tertia, Delian, and Lumio, the three of you would need to give me a perception check to be able to hear this. Because he's not, like, shouting.
Sure. He's just talking big.
He's just talking big.
He's one of them big talkers.
Yeah. Tertia, you hear it. Lumio, you are erstwhile occupied. Delian, you hear it too. Yeah. And so, yeah. Dandarin, as you start to climb down, Corley and Frasidna go, well, I want to see it. And it looks like the option is the rope or a frozen staircase. I'll take the rope. And the two
I
of
guess
them,
everybody's leaving.
the two of them start going down with the rope too.
Yeah, staying alone would be bad.
Down the rope we go.
Taking the
Rope
stairs.
again.
All right. Yeah, Mike, you take the stairs. Can you give me an acrobatics check?
I can.
You are fine.
Wow.
You are fine. You should ice skate downstairs all the time.
Yeah, I think we'll use the not knowing that there was a rope.
Yeah,
I
that
will
makes
also-
sense. Sharut, can you give me a climb check?
Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good.
It's gonna be real great. Oh, hey, not too
That
bad.
Hey, you're doing
too
fine.
bad.
You actually have, I think, the biggest chance to fail in the whole party. And I say that as
Take your words and eat them, John.
I say that as Lumio goes looging down the stairs.
Andy,
Can I
I rolled
actually
a
ride
D20.
Lumio?
Yes, you can. Give me an acrobatics check, get a +2.
Cool.
I assume I need to roll
bonus
this.
+2.
So Delian, you start going to ride Lumio, and sort of when he starts coming down the landing right here, you get launched off him, and Lumio, you take 3 points of damage. Delian, you take 4 points, as the two of you just go slamming into like every wall on the way down. And then let me
you just
switch.
hate fun.
I don't mind fun, but fun requires a roll, and you didn't roll high enough.
I really thought I did. That's all right.
All right, and I need to grab everybody else.
Rip us through the wall.
So, Delian, you are over here. Lumio,
All right.
you are over here. Tercia, you sort of stopped there, and these two went kind of sailing, tumbling past you, just boom, bop, 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 on the ground. And then Sharut,
Hang on.
Sharut and Dander and the two of you came down here. To Tercia, Delian, and Lumio, what you guys see is basically a white carpet with some blood stains on it. You see some mushrooms and some herbs over here that have been cut and are like drying out. Seems like not quite the right choice, but they've been cut. They're good. They've been harvested.
Oh boy.
There's a table with some bottles on it and some bottles under it. I believe this is the first intact table you have seen here.
Oh
and
shit,
there's-
that can't stand.
There's sort of a set of chairs over here that look like they're not in the best condition. Tercia, you can sort of see behind you that there's some broken doors with a big pillar in the middle, and past the doors is a library. And then let's see who can see this other thing. Tercia, you can see it. Delian, Lumio, everybody can see these things. They look like hanging cages. They look like gibbets. The kind of gibbet that you would put a person in.
Cool.
The persons that are in there are no longer alive. The persons that are in there look to be about Sharut size, but in terms of form, they look like if you took two Sharuts and just slammed them together.
One of those.
They are all dead, and there's just a lot of plant life growing from them, like a lot.
Oh.
There's all kinds of like mushrooms and herbs and vines and all kinds of things just coming from these bodies that you can identify as Dolgrim. You are also able to make out Dandarin and Sharut, a very large ice troll.
I'm sorry. I don't think it's showing me in there. Hang on. it's
I have you right
It's
here.
showing me. Yeah, I'm showing up as over here for some reason.
Where? Oh,
In front of the old door.
how about now?
There. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool.
Sorry,
Continue.
I pasted in your new guys and I didn't delete the old one. So yeah, Sharut, you and Dandarin and Coralie and Fursidna, both see this ice troll with got kind of a headband on that has some like little lenses coming down from it. Got a belt and a satchel on, and currently seems to be mixing something. There's a cauldron here that has something below it that's burning. There's another cauldron here that has something in it, but it's not currently like fired.
Lumia moves
Who's-
into the library.
Who's your friends, Rect?
I've been down here for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
She's, like she's saying this admonishingly to Dandrin. We've just gotten to the point where we can speak to each other. And like she'll hold out a hand and say, "I know there's a lot of us, but we don't mean you any harm. Feel free to continue what you were doing. And in fact, our goblin friend may be interested in the concoctions that you're creating."
Yeah, and the troll looks to you and like looks at all the people, and you see it sort of like nod to Sharut, and then it looks to everybody else, and it gives Dannerin kind of a distasteful look, like ugh. And he goes, still in orc, it says, you bragging dwarfses, bad's company dwarfses. And then you see it walk over, and it reaches up to the Dolgrim, and it very daintily plucks off a couple sprigs of something that's growing from it, and it kind of crushes it in its hand, and it puts it in the cauldron.
I might
So
ask.
Dandarin can't speak Orc, but I assume Dandarin knows the racial dwarven slurs in Orcish.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
So Dandarin's gonna be like, fucking racist.
Yeah. So that's and Lumio started heading that way. Lumio, this looks to be a library of sorts.
Like a
and-
level of tension that Lumio has been carrying just kind of melts away because bad things don't happen in libraries, except that one library. He doesn't talk about that library.
And actually, I will give a check.
Reference that one library was a bar that he used to frequent with Ringer.
Yep. So it just points this way. And to anybody watching it, they can see that, like he's pointing past everyone to Lumio.
Mhm.
And he goes, watches its soldier's hands is soldier, never good reading. Pay homage read, no pay homage, book angry.
No, that's actually one of our users of arcane magics. He's a mage of sorts. Although, and she kind of looks over her shoulder, albeit a somewhat unpredictable one. But no, he's very learned. I imagine that his interest is entirely natural and focused on the educational rather than destructive. Pray tell, what is it that you're making here? I know that me and my goblin friend are certainly interested.
Shrewd
It
doesn't ask.
holds
he
up
just
its
looks.
two hands, these two massive claws, as you're getting closer, and it looks at one of them, and it goes, soldiers, and it looks at the other, and it goes, mages, and then it says, it like holds up both hands, like almost in celebration, like it's basically giving you jazz fingers, and it goes, pay homage, and then it kind of takes the hands and makes two huge fists and slams them together, and you see that it basically just broke its own hands. And it just bones pop. And it goes, no pay homage. Book angry.
Oh, Lumio, wait, Lumio, hold on. And Zaract is gonna just Lumio, wait, stop.
So, Lumio,
Yeah.
Zaract is sort of running to you as you're getting into the library. Oh my god, it's a library. And it looks like there's definitely some scattered stuff in here. It's covering the floor, but it looks to be not quite as iced over as you think, like some of the other rooms are. Like, some of these might actually be legible, might be readable even. And you're probably, like, just reaching for a book as Zaract starts running over to you.
Well, I mean, I'd start with the ones on the floor because why would you leave books on the floor?
Ah, okay. Yeah, so you pick up a book off the floor.
Zaract is gonna swerve as she sees that she can't stop this and dive behind the wall.
So the book on the floor, it is so it does have some frost damage, but it does seem to be sort of mostly intact. When you flip it over, there's clearly like a little bit of mildew where, like it got wet. You're near the plant part. Some things grew, but they're still words. You could read them.
All right.
And
Yeah, I
give
very
me
gently dust the page off and try to ascertain what the book is about.
give me a linguistics check.
Sure.
You can give it to me at a +2 since you've been reading a lot of old Dakani Goblin.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh
Hey!
yeah. Oh yeah. This seems to be some sort of treatise. Very aptly, it is on what do you call it? It's holdings, thresholds, and doorcraft.
Oh,
And so as you're
fascinating.
reading it, it's basically a book on how to make good, strong doors. And then there's a kind of a smaller section at the end on how to make sort of pretty doors.
Interesting.
The pretty doors,
Uh,
it recommends you only put inside the dwelling.
Yes. I kind of read passages aloud in Goblin, and seeing as Delian's right next to me, I'll kind of give a loose translation.
I know Goblin.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Basically, they're going into door or structure. I see that there are some section devoted to locks and hinges. If you would like to peruse that.
Well, and anything else of like arcane note is fine as well.
Oh, arcane note. Well, let me see if it put it in any.
But
And
yeah, I'll take the locks and hinges bit too. But
Mhm.
I heard something about like there's like this. There was a commotion, and like he looks around.
Yeah, I
No
look
one's
back
really doing anything
as well.
Zarak
That's
is still
weird.
like saying, "Stop! Wait!
Yeah.
Put the books down."
While this is happening, Sharut, you see this guy walk over, and as he's walking over, his knuckles and his hand, like the bones are actively rehealing, and he takes a couple sprigs of something on here, and brings it back, and he like pushes some into the dirt, and then he grabs a little vial of liquid, and he kind of breathes on it a little bit, like, and mixes it up in his hands to get a little bit of friction going, and then he starts like putting the leaves that he got into the liquid and shaking it up.
Can I do an alchemy check on what he's making?
Yeah, sure.
Ah, dang it. I refreshed. That is a...
You have no idea. Like, this is not something that you've really seen before. Like, your alchemy is more of a long-term practice. What you're seeing is very rapid fire. It's kind of a different school.
Sharut will wait a moment while he works and observe the ingredients he's using before he dies to his own curiosity.
Okay. Yeah, you see him like he gets done shaking that bottle and then he holds it down to the fire, which is strange for a troll to like, trolls, they're afraid of fire. This dude like literally holds it down to the fire and lets the bottle get kind of warm, and then he pops the cork off and he just slams it.
He's been down here for a while, right? Like he speaks. I heard him speak Goblin.
You heard him. Yes. No, you didn't hear him speak Goblin. You heard him speak Giant and Orcish. Oh no! Wait. Sorry. Yes, you did hear him.
He
speak
did speak Goblin.
Yeah. Sorry. You did hear him speak Goblin. I got confused because Zarak couldn't.
Okay.
What was the concoction that you just quaffed?
And he looks at you and goes, "I's drinking potion.
Yes. What kind of potion?
Potion protect against dwarfses. Never trust. Orcish no. Dwarfses cannot trust."
Did he say that in Goblin?
Yep.
Boy, I'll have you know, Shroots is a dear friend of mine, and I trust him entirely, and he can trust me to always have his back, and he'll say that in Goblin.
And he just looks at you, and there's a long stare, and you see this like long sort of this tongue is closer to black than blue. Like it's got a hint of blue on it, and it kind of comes out, and he licks across his lips, and where the saliva goes, it very quickly starts to form this thin layer of frost. And after looking at you and doing that, he goes, "Feh."
Sharut glares at the troll and then looks to Dandrin and speaks in Dwarven.
Believe this creature, ages of pot, does not understand. Suggest leaving him be.
I'll leave him be, but Giants, he just shakes his head. Never know.
All right. And
At least he's civil.
Tertia, you're sort of watching this cycle through a bunch of different languages, with the troll not being aggressive, but definitely not
I don't.
welcoming.
I understand none of this.
Yeah. I know. You don't understand what's going on, but the troll is definitely loud, and everything that he does, because he's a troll, probably does seem a little aggressive because he's a troll. Yeah, are you doing anything?
I'm mostly just watching him because it's a troll, and I've already fought one.
Okay.
And it wasn't fun, especially when I got back up. I don't recognize a threat behind me. I see Lumio reading a book.
Yeah, Lumio's reading a book, and Delian is questioning him a little bit about locks, which apparently are gone over in good detail in the book.
And Zorak is like, no, wait.
I've got my hand on my chakram. That's basically all I'm doing. Just watching and preparing for the incoming attack.
Okay, sounds good. So, Lumio and Delian, you guys are getting a lot about, old Dakani doors.
Yeah.
Lock structure.
Yeah.
Well,
door structure.
yeah.
Door prettiness, which is not regarded as something that you really need.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
If he
question,
hears
Zorak?
Zorak say thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Zarak's coming over and going, no.
So
Hey.
what's up?
Explain.
Look, okay, so the troll has indicated that the books, some of them, have defense mechanisms, and that you have to honor them. I don't know what that means yet, but you came over here touching things, and until we know what that actually is, I'd rather you not explode, or whatever happens. I mean, the druids tend to encase you in vines, and then you fertilizer and all that, but it's probably different here. So look, I know you're excited. It is exciting. Let's maybe see if we can figure out how to properly approach these books and then set you loose.
That someone has dishonored these books a great deal by leaving them on the floor for several hundred years. I was simply cleaning up.
Lumio, your understanding of what dishonor may mean and his understanding of what it may mean, that may be different. And I need you to understand that so that we can bring those together, enlighten all of us, and then progress safely.
Would you prefer I was messing around with a Remora's head?
I'm sorry for identifying the thing that resulted in the trap that we will have to deal with later. I'll be sure not to do that in the future. Just rolling her eyes to the ends of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you know what? I'm walking away.
Very well. Lumio continues to look at the books that are on the floor.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it's you get very how can I put it?
Is there like a book return cart?
No.
Okay.
What you're getting from the books on the floor is stuff that's very sort of like work focused. Things like there's alchemy books on the floor. There are books like the building doors one that I mentioned. There's books for carpentry and upholstery. There are books on plant growth and herbalism. Like if you're just looking at the titles and like kind of flipping over the ones on the floor, that's kind of what you're looking at. It's very sort of like almost survival based books is the ones that you're seeing down there. Survival and like labor.
Lumio is going through the efforts of at least picking them up, and straightening them out and laying their pages flat so that they can be closed properly. Because I mean, from the view that I get from the map, they're all open and face down on the floor, which is not great for books.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's doing some minor housekeeping as he peruses them and picks them up. And then if there was like a library book return cart that is nearby so that the librarians are the actual people who can shelve them, he would put that on that, but there doesn't appear to be so he will just carry around a small case until he finds a place that seems suitable for that.
Sure. Like you gather up a group of like 6 or 7, but there's no library return cart. It seems that whoever was taking these sorts of things was probably expected to return them themselves. So this is maybe less a library and more of like a study. Because like I might have a study at my house that.
Yeah. I'm not producing light anymore. Is there like a desk or something?
Oh, sorry. We went on a different level, and I will give you 30, 60, and now you are producing lighting.
Okay.
So, yeah. For those still in the room, the troll breaks off a handful of caps of the mushrooms, not the stalks, just the caps, and walks over and sort of dips them into this one and then puts them in where they start floating and cook.
Shrewd will examine this.
Sure.
Alchemy?
Give me an alchemy check. That cauldron has a purify food and drink spell in it, active at the moment.
Shrewd looks to the Frost Troll.
We are going to use this if need be. Understand?
He's not doing it threateningly. He's just stating it,
And
and it's in Goblin. It's in Goblin.
the troll gives you this look that for a second is like, is he looking at you like he maybe wants to eat you? And actually, give me a sense motive check.
I can.
Is that
I can do.
I don't know what he said, but
Yeah, you
I
can give
can
it
see
to.
the thing. All right.
I probably should also.
Enderon's there and speaks Goblin.
Oh boy.
Whatever. He's a giant. Do what he does.
Yeah, and Tertia, you can roll it if you want to. Sharut and Zarakt, but not Tertia or Dandarin. So Sharut, you've never quite seen something who can literally fit about half of your body into its mouth. Look at you like you're stupid. Like it starts as a threatening look, but it's just stuck there, and his eye kind of squints and his head tilts, and he goes, "Of course, that's why he's there."
You have been alone for a long time.
He's
Things have
fine.
changed. Things have changed.
And he sort of pauses, and he's looking around, and he goes, "What is?" And there's a string of curses that come from him, and you see him walk over to this area, getting real close to Zarakt, and he reaches his hands up and grabs the floor above him,
Mhm.
and then pulls himself up.
Shit. Zoract is going to go to the back wall and see if she can see him from here.
Yeah, you see him. What you see is that he pulls himself up, and then he goes into the upstairs of this room.
Uh-huh.
Like you see him walk this way and then go this way.
While that happens, Sharut is going to take a minute to examine the rest of his setup here, because I think he knows what he's doing. He's looking for another herb. He needs it, and it's not down here.
Zoract sees him go into the library, sees these guys bumbling around in the library, and retreats back to the not at all dangerous portal amplifier.
Sounds... All right, so he disappears. Delian, I'm sure. I mean, you're standing there. You see this thing like lift itself up and go to the next floor. You doing anything?
He's kind of he has no idea where honestly to go. Everywhere is just dangerous. Nothing. It's all happening so very fast. This is nothing like the city he thought he was gonna stay in. So he's just kind of in like this stupid like follow the leader. So he's just sticking with the group. He's just kind of dumbfounded and has no idea what to do.
Okay. For the group, Delian walks over to you guys for safety. What are you doing, Dandarin?
Where did he go?
You saw him walk over here, and then
No, he went up to the top floor, but
and then he went up to the top floor.
Root.
Waves
That
him away, like
that troll looked like he was going to eat you for a second there.
Sharut, not worried. Looking for something to add to next concoction.
and he.
Is it a concoction or is he making dinner?
He can't be making dinner. He's a troll.
If making dinner.
Trolls eat.
Yeah, they eat.
If making dinner, Artie have attacked. No worry.
He's intelligent. He's smart, and you shouldn't bring the aggression this place seems to foster to him.
If can make potion troll bane, or if can make potion dwarf bane, do not think have to worry. Very smart.
Okay, so you're looking around there. Lumio, what are you doing?
Is this room open to the above?
So in certain spots you can see that yes, it's open to the above. So essentially, I'm gonna kind of draw it on here, but the what you see above is essentially kind of like this. Hold on, it's I don't remember it exactly, but it's kind of something like that. I would have to look at the other map. I can look at the other map later and do it. But they're like in some places, like here, you do have all the way around the staircase. You do have a floor, but in places like over here, you don't. And the books go all the way to the ceiling.
Oh, that's super cool. That makes Lumio happy to look up the air and see that many tomes of knowledge.
It looks like these shelves right here don't go quite that high up. They only go up to about the level of the next floor. But that's about it.
Lumio starts trying to look around and see if he can recognize categories or where these books that he's picked up might go.
Sure. Give me a Give me an intelligence check.
Sure.
Or if you have like knowledge history, knowledge nobility, like anything that's like I hang out in libraries.
Yeah, I got knowledge history. Let's see if my nobility's the same. So
Yeah,
There.
it has a system. The system seems to be very much by subject. It's not quite as rigid as like if you've ever been to, you know, the Royal Library in Metrol or like the Grand Library of Korenberg or something like that. But it's more like these are workbooks, these are history books, these are this sort of thing. And then it's just they're just kind of piled in there.
Oh, seems a little archaic, but and arbitrary. But I understand. I think, and he'll start putting away the books that he's collected.
Okay.
Just kind of going around and trying to pick things up.
Sounds good.
I'll be honest. Lumio is in a place that he understands, and
Yeah.
he's doing the thing that he understands.
Yeah. So basically, as you're kind of like over in this area putting a book away, you see the troll just slam down on the ground next to you,
Oh my.
and then he walks this way holding a book.
Huh. Yeah. Did any get like pushed off the shelves or fall?
No, like it
No?
it just looks like for him it's a very small jump. Like this is about how
Yeah.
tall he is. Maybe a little bit less.
Yeah,
Or
there's
sorry,
something
maybe
about
maybe a little bit more.
yeah, something about that much weight coming down on the ground
Yeah.
shocks me. Just
Um.
push him back on the shelf or whatever.
But yeah, he comes over and he's opening the book and he's flipping through it and he sees it and he goes no, and he shuts the book and just kind of like throws it over here, and then he walks over to this gibbet and you see him pluck a couple of like kind of weird dappled little red capped mushrooms over, and then he walks back to the thing and he's crushing them in his palm, and he's not really letting the flesh of the mushrooms drop in, just the juice that he's making. Just
Can I do another alchemy check?
no, because you already don't know what he's making.
Well, no,
you already
because
filled
that was on the first thing that he made.
the.
That was on
You said what is he
okay.
working on, and he's still working on the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So he drops it into the cauldron and he mixes, and then Zorak, from where you are, kind of over there, looking at the planar amplifier, he points to you and he says, "She is coming here," and like motions.
Like Zorak is totally fine with this. She says, "Well, of course. Can I help you?"
And he reaches behind him and grabs basically it looks like it's a bottle that he has broken the top off of, or that the top is broken off of, to make a little cup, and he swipes it through and he pushes it at you until the liquid kind of like spills a little bit onto your tunic, and he says, "It is drinking," and then moves this way.
She's gonna look at Sharut and she'll actually walk over here and so that it's in clear sight, and then she'll give it a whiff first. What's it smell like?
It smells very earthy. There's a lot of mushrooms. There's a lot of herbs in it. It's a very earthy sort of thing.
I feel like Sharut would answer her look with kind of like a half shrug. I have no idea what he's made.
He's gonna shrug and say, "Well, I've tried worse homebrewed things from the druids, so bottoms up, I guess." And she'll just down it.
Okay, you down it, and your body feels really, really tingly. Like it sort of feels like, you know, those last few minutes after your, you know, a limb that's asleep starts to wake up, where you can still feel the remnants of it being asleep, but it's not quite awake yet. You sort of feel that, but it's over your entire body, and then you feel that kind of fade, and then you don't feel cold anymore.
She'll be describing this in orc as best she can, like she would do for any of the herbal concoctions down at the Reach, or test out or try for her the folks who were her peers and colleagues.
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, very earthy, very mushroom, strong flooding sensation. You have sort of a prickling like thorns through the limbs. Excellent, yes. It's very pervasive. It's really. Has it removed the sensation of cold, or has it actually prevented it?
And you see this kind of grin happen on his face, which is just hideous. It just shows a ton of teeth.
Like
he
how we
goes-
imagine John Eric to smile.
And he goes, "Giving you protection, troll."
Ah. Oh, well, thank you. That's fantastic. I do appreciate it. She looks kind of forlornly, realizing she probably should have saved the sample, but will gently set the cup on the counter over here. And she looks to Sharut. She's like, "Look, I have so many questions. I know that we have people to save.
Oh, that's a good one. Ask him if he's seen anyone besides us.
That's valid. I can't. It would feel wrong of me to address you as troll. Do you have a name that I can use?"
And he jabs his chest like you jab your chest with your thumb, but you see the nail of his thumb actually kind of sink in.
Just
And
go
as,
in.
And as he pokes it out, it just heals up. And he says, "Naming Gum Gulka."
And at that point, Ziract will point to herself and say, "I am Gwenat." And
he goes,
Gulka.
"Nat. Name fitting, tiny Nat."
Gulka, we have been looking for members of an expedition who have been traced to this castle. Have you seen or heard any such while you were here? Can you tell us where they might have gone and which direction they might have moved towards?
And he's like at the gibbets, and he's just kind of like poking it, just playing with it. It's like swinging around. And he says, "Seeing everyone, Gumgulka's eyes. Who in you wanting find?" And
Persia, can you describe them?
And we'll see you next week. So thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you all next week.
Goodbye, jelly spoons.